Welcome. It's the dawn of a new age. I'm very, very excited for this new era. No, I mean, it is the dawn of a new age, but I'm excited for Ask DLF. Welcome back. There's no more intro song. The intro song has been retired from the old era. I appreciate, the people behind that and all the work that was put into that, but the intro song has been retired. And now we have a new era. Hutch, why don't you start telling us about how you're going to contribute to the new era?
I'm already a writer for DLF, so if you can check out my articles, I write every once in a while for DLF. But also, I'm going to be here pretty much every week doing an Ask DLF show, and I'm really, really excited for the opportunity to do this in front of a big stage.
Yeah, and you're going to do great. There was a question on my show yesterday, which I thought was kind of interesting. It was from a friendly audience. I believe it was the Ridley Truther. So we're covering Ridley Truther. It was a friendly audience. It wasn't a troll. They were asking, and maybe you could answer it because you weren't there to answer it. I had to answer for you.
What's this?
No, you were there. It wasn't bad. It wasn't a bad question. Okay. It was. They were asking how you got all of the opportunities at Football Guys and at DLF at such a young age. I mean, it's from a friendly audience, so someone I know. Yeah. So it wasn't a troll question. I think they were legitimately asking. I was kind of sad you weren't there to answer it yourself.
Yeah.
But now that you're here, and you're going to be on the show going forward, is there anything you would want to say to answer that question?
That's
really people might be interested in hearing.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I mean, I have gotten. I mean, I want to say that I have put in a lot of work into this. I put a lot of effort into this, and I think that has paid off. But I also think I have gotten a bit lucky as well in this industry with how far I've grown. The opportunities. I mean, really, it's just I developed a pretty good relationship with Joe Bryant. We met at the Fantasy Football Expo 2 years ago, not this past Fantasy Football Expo, but 2 years ago. And we just had a great connection right there. Me, him, and my dad pretty much connected right there. And later that time, he asked me to work for him. So, because he had just been following my work for a while, and he thought I was really good, and he asked me for the opportunity. And it was kind of the same with DLF. I mean, I interacted with Ken and a couple of the other big guys over at DLF on Twitter a little bit, and they've just been following my work, and they just asked out and said, "Hey, do you want to write for us? I mean, we know you haven't really written before, but would you like to try for us?" And it was really just them reaching out and asking. I didn't really ask or apply. They just kind of reached out to me. I got kind of lucky with it.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't apply either. They reached out to me too. Yeah. I don't write anymore, really. I guess I could. I think during the off season I'll come back as a writer. But I haven't written anything in a while.
Yeah, I just because writing it's not my specialty, writing. I'm usually better on the mic and better in front of videos. And additionally, with school and with all the other commitments I have right now, writing is because writing for me, writing takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time for me to get the article done. So I'm usually only doing 1 or 2 a month right now. But it's still really fun to be able to write every once in a while. Just get that part of my fantasy football content in a little bit, get that diversity in. But I don't write a ton. It's not my favorite, and it's not my best part of me either. But it's still fun. I still love to do it.
Yeah, and if I can add, before Hutch, he got onto the scene with DLF and some of the other companies. Back when he was TY MNFL.
TYFM.
Right? Oh my god!
Yeah, right. The young fantasy mind. Even I could tell. He's young, but he's driven and he loves football, has a passion for it. So I've just loved seeing you grow, man, and seeing a lot of people catch on and listen and read your work and things like that. So props to you, man. I'm really. It's weird. I'm proud of you for just continuing on.
Thank you, really man. Awesome. I do really appreciate it. I mean, it's just, I don't know. It's just been such an incredible journey for me, and I'm just so excited to keep moving forward. I'm so glad that this has become a real thing for me. When I started, I really thought it was just gonna be a random hobby, but I want to make this a career if I can. So I'm doing everything I can to do so. And I recently, it was funny that you mentioned, I recently went back and listened to one of my first ever podcast episodes when it was still the Young Fantasy Mind Football podcast. Yeah. I sounded awful. I sounded horrific.
Really?
No, I sounded so bad. Oh my God.
I think I was good from day one.
I hated it.
I
No,
really do.
I was not good. I mean, I was fine, but like I was very clearly a beginner. Like I was like ums and uhs were absolutely all over the place. I was stuttering nonstop. Like it was ridiculous. But I've gotten much better on the mic now. And but yeah, it was just
And you're
so
finding, you know,
funny
you're
to watch
finding your
that.
voice, right? You're finding your voice, you're refining it,
Yeah.
and kind of making sure you're you, like on the mic, and
Yeah,
I think it's been
definitely.
great.
I've also noticed my voice has gotten a bit deeper as well. A lot of
Yes,
people have
that happens
commented.
with age.
I've gotten a few comments recently that I sound like a 30-year-old for a podcast, and
Oh,
I'm like
no.
16. So it's really, really interesting to hear that.
Yeah, I would just say, I mean, I answered. I think also, I felt like they were asking me, like, to some degree, like,
Yeah.
why
What did they
had
say?
you.
Did they say like, how did Hutch get this? Like is that what they
Something
said?
along those lines, and I was just kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck how old someone is. Like, that doesn't matter. Like, it's just a number. It's just age. Like, all I care about is, which is funny coming from me because I'm like the Dynasty ageist. But
when it's not fantasy age,
Yeah, but it's
yeah,
not
it
fantasy.
doesn't matter, right? Like,
Yeah.
to me, all that matters is, obviously working with me is tough, as everyone knows. Maybe everyone doesn't know that. Working with me can be tough. But yeah, just so like getting along with me and like, dealing with the fact that I can have high standards sometimes, but I'm also like really easygoing sometimes. It's kind of like a balance, like, getting in that right vibe with me. And then, yeah, other than that, like just the knowledge and stuff like that. And I don't think that's really based on age. And also, okay, so the new era. So I think most people saw this last week. I knew this during the show last week. I think people could kind of tell there was something a little odd going on. So I didn't know about it, but I didn't know what Cal had announced or whatever. But Cal has left Ask DLF. He's gonna do a new project for DLF that I think is gonna be very exciting. Honestly, I only say that because I think Cal is very talented, and whenever he does, it's going to be good. I know nothing about what the new project is going to be. Nothing at
Cal's
all.
great.
Yeah, I have no
He's
idea what that project is. It's going to be a podcast. So but I don't know what the content of that is, who he's working with, nothing. So I know he's excited for that. And I'm sure we'll see, you'll see more about it when it comes out. But I don't know anything about it. So he can, I'm sure you can just follow him at Calvin and a Hobby on Twitter.
Yeah, go follow that. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I would suggest that.
Yes.
With that being said, obviously I have done this show with Cal for a long time. I really enjoyed working with Cal. Things are going to change on the show without Cal. Just in general. When Cal was on the show, Cal was definitely in the hosting role, and Addison and I would cover analysis. For any of you who watch my own channel, have definitely seen that when I'm on my own channel, I'm usually kind of in the hosting role. I mean, I'm the one who reads the questions. I'm the one who controls the flow from topic to topic. So I'm not exactly sure how we're going to handle that when Addison is back, and it'll usually be Hutch, me, and Addison.
I'm filling in for today.
Yes, Josh is filling in. Yeah, and we're gonna get to that. Sorry, we're having a little bit of a slow intro, but that's fine.
Definitely, we're almost 10 minutes in and haven't answered a question. So we'll
it
get
is
there.
what
We
it is.
promise. We promise we'll get there.
We promise.
We'll get there.
You know that I always get to it. I always get to all the questions. There's nothing to fear. But I will just say that moving forward, I think we'll split up the hosting role more between the three of us. Probably will mostly be actually me reading the questions and taking us from topic to topic. And then, we'll split up. Obviously, we'll get the Tyler rants. So those are not going away. And then most of the actual analysis, which if you watched, I think it's funny. If you go back and listen to my shows from like my early shows, I actually talked about like football and strategy, like a lot more. Like I was very dry. Like I actually like went into detail about Dynasty strategy. I don't do that anymore. Now it's more like the drive-by soundbite, the rant, like that kind of stuff is more what you get from me. So we're going to free me up to do that. And I'll keep us kind of on track. And then, Hutch and Addison will take care of the majority of analysis. And we'll really split that mostly between Addison will take over a little bit of what Cal was doing, going to the DLF website, highlighting the DLF tools, because Addison wrote a lot of those tools. So nobody better to highlight them. So he'll go through the trade analyzer, the trade finder, some ADP. He'll take us through that. And then Hutch will kind of just cover a little bit. So yeah, it's more like I'm going to take over a lot of what Cal was doing. Addison is going to take over some of what Cal was doing in terms of looking up stuff and then also just analyzing. And then Hutch is mostly going to be what I was doing, if that makes sense. It probably made no sense, but we'll see how that goes as we go along. And then we have a guest today. We had guests last week. We have a new guest. So Josh, after 10 minutes of mostly just my monologue, why don't you tell the people about yourself and,
Sure.
you know, just anything you want to tell them. This show's gonna be very long, so you have quite a bit of time.
Yeah, I'll keep it quick. My name's Josh. You can find me on Twitter at JBChoKnows. You know, this show, being on it is, you know, a great privilege to be on here. Appreciate the invite from Tyler and to be on here with Hutch as well. But it really fits kind of what my niche is in the Twitter community. I like to answer a lot of questions and try to help people with, you know, start and sit advice, you know, trades, waiver wire, and, you know, Dynasty and redraft as well. And so I use hashtag AskJBC or just put up, you know, tweets here and there. People can ask questions in the threads. I also help Tyler on his threads, answering some questions as well. So, you know, again, just love building relationships. It's really cool to even like be on a show with Tyler and Hutch because, you know, they're two guys that I met on Twitter, you know, and, you know, just through the game of fantasy football. And so building relationships and helping people win, those are kind of my two key things. So just glad to be here to talk football and help answer some questions.
Yeah, you really are a machine on Twitter. Like, it's crazy how like you see what I go through now, right?
Oh yeah,
now,
for sure. I mean,
now you get it, right? You two always saw me complain about not complain, but like it's always like, oh, I'm so tired. Now I think after going, you see all my threads in the Team Tyler group chat.
Well, yeah, I mean, you need like I'm shocked
help.
that you did it by yourself for so long.
I still do. I still get to
Yeah.
every question. I mean, I try.
Yeah.
Sometimes I have a life. It's unfortunate. It really gets in the way. You know, it's just really unfortunate. It does kind of present a little bit of an obstacle. All right.
Let's do this. Let's go.
I know. Finally, I'm actually going to take us into the questions. And, you know, if you want your question to be answered immediately, the super chat is always available.
Yes.
And if you donate $50 or more, you go on Addison's Wall of Fame, which would make Addison very happy. Yeah.
Do it.
Addison
Go for it.
and his migraines may or may not be watching the show. But I hope he feels
Feel better, man.
Yeah.
Feel better, man. Let's go.
He wanted to be here. I wanted him to be here, but he is not here. So I will fill in. All right. 12 team, 1 QB PPR, Christian Watson, and pick 301 for Greg Dulcich and the 201. Okay.
Wow. That's interesting.
Yes, it's very interesting to get us started. It's a 1 QB, so we don't have too many of those anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
this is interesting.
I think 301 and Greg Dulcich are kind of a wash for me. I mean, I don't really see a massive value difference in either.
That's surprising to me. I don't see it that way at all.
I prefer the Watson side for upside. You know, like when I look at trades with like players.
What do you see Tyler as a? Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, I mean, Dulcich to me is right now is my dynasty tight end 8, so I think he's worth a lot.
Oh shoot! I read that wrong. Sorry.
It's okay.
Sorry, I read the name wrong. For a second I read it as Greg Dortch.
Oh. Well, Greg Dortch is worth a lot less than the 3.
Yes, Greg Dortch is worth a lot less than that. Greg Dulcich, that makes it so much more interesting. Okay, I'm really sorry. I read that completely wrong. My bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, Greg Dulcich, that is much more interesting. And Tyler is definitely right. That makes it much more interesting. Greg Dulcich, I'd much rather have than the 301. So that makes it a much more interesting trade. I think I still want Watson. I feel like he's the best player of this trade.
That's my favorite part of the podcast so far.
Yeah.
Wait, Tyler,
I am definitely known to make a few of those mistakes here and there.
Tyler, are you leaning on the Dulcich side?
No,
here?
no, I'm
No,
gonna take
right?
the
I want
Watson
Watson.
side.
I think he's
Yeah.
the
I'll
best
take the
player of
Watson
this
side. He
trade.
has a lot more upside. Plus, that's
Yeah.
also not
Yeah.
a tight end premium, so
Yeah,
I'm not
if
as
it's a tight end
interested in tight
premium,
end.
and at least like 1 point extra premium, definitely I'd consider
Yeah.
the Dulcich side. But
Yeah.
just for these, what's here, one QB PPR, Watson's upside. I mean, he's shown it. I mean, he kind of. I worry that people are falling a little bit too much in love with all the TDs that he's scoring because that can't keep up. But
5 in the last 2
he's
weeks.
showing he can do it.
There's
And
nothing wrong with
Rodgers
falling
did.
in love, bro.
There's
Hey.
nothing wrong with that.
One love.
I wish I could say the same. But yeah, Hollywood or Pittman?
Ooh.
I'm going Hollywood.
Ooh, man.
I'm going
That
Hollywood.
is so tough.
Yeah.
Wow. I think it would slightly favor. I think I'd slightly favor Hollywood as well.
Yeah.
And
Really?
you're talking Dynasty, right?
I'd rather have Pittman.
It's gotta be Dynasty, right?
Yeah, we're talking Dynasty. I mean, ask DLF. That's Dynasty.
Yeah. No, I'd rather have Pittman.
Really?
Yes,
You're
really.
gonna say age again?
No, I mean they're only like
1
6
year
months
apart?
Yeah, they're very close in age. It's just I trust the offense. I trust the offense more. I trust the quarterback more. And Hollywood and Pittman, when you look at talent-wise, I don't know if I see a massive separation between those two guys. So I'm going to take Hollywood Brown.
Yeah. I'm on Team
Okay.
Hollywood as well. I really liked what I saw before he got hurt, obviously. And I know people will say, well, Nook wasn't there yet. And but I've been kind of just waiting to see how he does. And man, he's a baller. I think he's going to keep it up once he gets back.
Yeah, he's a baller. He is.
I think it's crazy how much of Pittman's production has been in like a couple of games. It's weird.
Yeah, he's had like 2 top 10 games this year, and the rest of he's been trash.
Yeah.
Like honestly, that's kind of how it's been this year. The rest of the games he's been like pretty mid. But the first 2, like there were 2 games. I think it was in week 1, and then it was in week like 9 or 10, like around there, where he had like a top 5 week. In week 1, he had a great week, and then all of a sudden, the rest of it, it's just been like it just hasn't been there.
Yeah, I think he benefits from Matt Ryan being back for sure. I mean,
Matt Ryan definitely helps him out because he just targets him he just peppers him with targets.
Yeah.
But they're not really good targets because it's Matt Ryan.
Yeah, I hate saying that too because I mean Matt Ryan, I've always had a soft spot for him.
I haven't.
Yeah.
Yeah, neither.
I've never.
Time's coming to a close.
I've kind of been in the middle with Matt Ryan.
I don't have soft
him.
spots. I have soft. I think I have a soft spot for Addison, and that's about it. Love you.
Wow,
Addison.
he's special then, huh? Yeah.
Yeah.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah, no,
Right.
I literally said I was like, when I was recruiting people to replace Addison tonight, I was like, I need 3 people to replace one Addison. I love Addison. I would, if I could work with Addison I wish I could record every show with Addison. Put it that way.
That's
That's how much I love Addison. Happy Thanksgiving, everyone. Turkey Tuesday. Yeah, no, I love turkey.
Sure.
Turkey's actually one of my favorite foods.
Yeah,
So Thanksgiving's like my favorite holiday because I actually get good turkey instead of shitty turkey from the fucking grocery store. This is what happens when Addison's not here. I get to curse. Well, I don't get to curse, but I curse by mistake without anyone giving me a face. So don't do it. I don't
care, man. I hear.
I mean,
worse in high school.
I don't care. Like it is what it is. You know, there are many worse things that could be happening. We could have a whole segment devoted to Melvin Gordon's green hair, like we did on my show. All right. Win now.
Tough.
Dak, Jamal Williams, and 2 23 thirds in a 14-team superflex for a mid 23 first, 2 late 23 firsts, and a 24 first. This is very excessive.
Yeah.
That's way too many firsts.
That's way too much.
That's insane.
Too risky, to give up all of those picks, even in a 14-team superflex where quarterbacks are worth a lot. It's a little risky.
Yeah, sorry. I thought it for a second. I thought it said 1 late 20. Yeah. Two late 23 first, a mid 23 first,
and the 24. It's way too much.
That's 4 firsts.
That's way too much for Dak and Jamal
Williams.
I mean, even
Way
if it
too
was
much.
Josh Allen and Jamal Williams, you'd be like, "Ooh,
And it's still a
that might be
lot.
too
Yeah,
many."
I would
That's still,
consider it that,
that's still steep. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
still steep.
but it's
'Cause
steep.
especially
Yeah.
in a 14 team, like those extra first, the depth that you can get from there is going to be really huge.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree. All right.
Yeah, I think I would definitely lean those picks.
Kadarius Toney is top 5 guy. Where are you at? Well, that's why the show is called We Are Fantasy Prophets. The people on Twitter, they said that I am the fantasy prophet, and that maybe I'll just call myself that from now on, because I said that Kadarius Toney was not a good start this week, which is actually not what I said, but that's what the people on Twitter always, when I just say, you ask me to pick between 2 players, I say bench one, and they're like, "Wow, you hate that? You hate the other player? Oh no, you hate him? Oh."
Yeah.
Well, you don't know where I had him ranked. You just don't.
I remember it.
Like the other player better.
Like 50-50 with Tony, except in your like start sit thread that we did that morning. I remember, because I'm on Team Tyler as well. I remember being like 50-50 with Tony on questions whether I could sit him or not.
Yeah,
Like,
it was tough.
I think the question I got the most was Kadarius Toney or George Pickens.
I got a couple of those, and I answered
George
George
Pickens.
Pickens for that one.
And I also had him or
Pickens
Darnell Mooney. I went with Darnell Mooney, but I will say the funniest thing is I had him or Rondale Moore. Went with Rondale Moore, and Kadarius Toney scored 0, and it was still wrong.
It was still wrong.
It was still wrong.
Moore.
Kadarius Toney
Rondale
scored 0, and Rondale Moore was even worse.
Yeah, in my home league, I was playing against a guy. We were both watching the game together. I had Christian McCaffrey, and we were about even total score. I had Christian McCaffrey, he had Debo and Rondale. And Rondale got knocked out with negative points. So I thought I had won, and then Debo went off to have a good game, and I eventually ended up losing. But
I'm not having a good
when we
week
saw
of injury.
Rondale Moore injured with negative points, like I was just dying.
I'm not having a good week of injuries since Scott Fishbowl. I lost Rondale Moore. Cooper Kupp is going to be out for the year. I lost Wandale.
Yeah.
And Darrell Henderson's not an injury, but he was cut.
Yeah, he was cut. That was insane.
You know what, though? Like, wow. That team is one of the best teams I've ever drafted. It's one of the best teams I've ever drafted, because I drafted Justin Fields in the 7th and Jamal Williams in the 14th.
Wow. Yeah, Jamal Williams, man.
I knew that it would happen. I predicted it. I predicted.
You predicted he would have more touchdowns at this point than the rest
did.
of his
Yeah,
career.
that's totally what I predicted. I actually did predict it.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, I've realized that what I've learned, unfortunately, and you'll notice this in my recent YouTube content on my channel, that on YouTube, good fantasy advice and good content is not rewarded. Yelling, screaming, and getting the most attention in the shortest period of time is what's rewarded.
Same on TikTok.
Well, you see gamers even like on their YouTube and Twitch, like
that like I could have always done it, I always refused to do it for years. I always refused to do it. I was like, well, I want to make good, solid content. I just don't care anymore. Like, if you want me to actually really help you win and focus on that as my primary goal, I have a very successful Patreon where I do just that. I don't do bullshit. I don't joke around. I don't, fuck with your fantasy team. I just tell you how to win. And I do that in DMs. Like, I do that. But when I'm live on a mic, I consider it that I'm 80% trying to entertain you and 20% trying to help you. I mean, that's the reality of what YouTube is. Unfortunately, like, it's just the reality of what it is. It's 80% entertainment is what people come for. And then, but if I were totally giving you useless advice, you would turn the show off. But, at the end of the day, I could read from a spreadsheet and just tell you where I have everyone ranked, but no one will watch that.
Yeah.
And look, I don't mind. What is desired on YouTube is closer to my real personality than actually just reading and giving fantasy advice. This is more the real me. Being silly and just a bunch of nonsense is actually more what I really am. So I actually have to pretend less to give you guys that than to actually give you guys like more of the analytical perspective. That's what we have Addison for. Because he's a lot better at that than me. I'm making analytics sound entertaining. I don't know how to do that. Peter Howard too, an expert in that. I don't know how to do that. I don't know how they do it. They make analytics sound entertaining. I can't do it. Injury or not, Tony was going to get outsnapped by Justin Watson. I don't know if we know enough to say that, but I think what we can say is that Tony was not going to have 80 to 90% of the snaps. That was not a reality.
No.
That was not going to happen. He was still going to be in a part-time role, even with Juju out. So the take of Tony being wide, I could tell you before he got injured, it was wrong from the first drive. It was the takes of Tony top 12 was wrong. Maybe he would have gotten there by luck, but the analysis behind Tony being excellent was wrong from the start. He wasn't out there much on the first drive. It was wrong.
Yeah.
Just like I said, it would be. So yes, he got injured and that, put a nail in the coffin, but even it sounded like my ranking, which was not wide receiver 50, wide receiver 28, was actually about right. Considering he was going to be a part-time player in a strong offense. I like my wide receiver 28 rank, given the role he would have had if he had not gotten hurt. I actually think I had a good rank. Yeah. So I don't,
I think that was fair, especially with the way Sky Moore got involved in that offense in the game.
Exactly. I was going to bring that up.
Sky Moore got more involved after Tony was in.
Yeah, that was more after Tony, though. We really wouldn't have known.
Most of the production was after.
It was nice to see him, step up and make some really key, possessions. So
it was nice to see him do anything at all. It was nice to see him actually be active for the game. I mean, that was something that he was not capable of doing. But the sad thing about it is that in the rest of the season, going into this game, Sky Moore had 7 catches for 106 yards.
Yeah.
And this one, he had 5 for 63. So he almost added a third or more, whatever number of his production this year.
Yeah.
This game.
Crazy.
Oh, boy. Smash that like button. Yes, Henry's a legend. And absolutely, smash the like button. Addison will get his wings if you do so. And in addition, it will make me very happy because if people like the show, that really tells me that we're doing a good job. Yeah, just it's a very nice thing to do. Tony cost me 2 wins this week, lost by 0.15 in one of them.
It's brutal.
Yeah, it happens.
Those are the worst.
It happens. Those are the worst losses. Those are the worst.
No, someone put up on Twitter
fantasy football.
They were up by less than a point, and then they played Rondale Moore, and then they lost.
Oh my god!
So they would have won.
Barry did a whole thread of those. He did a whole thread. There's a whole thread about that. You can look at Matthew Berry's Twitter. It's on there.
Oh man, that's
thread
brutal.
Of people who started Rondale Moore and lost.
That is brutal.
I know. Wow. I feel like this is the first time it's actually happened. Where we go into Monday night, we say, "Well, someone who scored negative," and then it actually happened.
Yeah, it happened. He scored negative 0.6 points.
Yeah, not a nobody, like someone people actually had in their lineups.
Ooh.
Sending prayers to the Tony bag holders. Well, it's not over, but I don't expect him to play this week. I mean, I don't have him ranked.
Yeah, I don't expect. Yeah, we shouldn't expect him. We shouldn't expect him to play this week. And the way Sky Moore showed himself with Juju, where's Juju's status? He's coming back soon, right?
He could be back.
He should be back soon.
I mean, a concussion, he's probably not going to miss that many weeks, but
No, yeah.
I mean, we'll see.
I mean, Juju should be back within the next week or two. Sky Moore showed out pretty well. Tony's role in this offense is not going to be consistent. It's just not going to be there. So he's going to have some weeks where he makes some good plays or makes a run down the field or breaks some ankles. Because he's so fast on his feet. He can make an explosive play. He can make a play down the field.
Very, very talented player. For sure.
He's very electric when he has the ball in his hand. So he might make some plays here and there, but his involvement in the offense isn't going to be consistent because of Travis Kelce obviously being that dominant force. And then when Juju and Sky Moore, if Sky Moore eventually keeps this momentum going,
sure,
it just the volume's not going to be there for him. I mean, it hasn't even been there for Juju half the time. None of the receivers get consistent involvement in this offense.
We can also confirm that his hammies really were hurting in New York as well. Because
this probably is a re-injury.
Some people thought he was fake.
It probably is a re-injury or re-aggravation. Yeah.
So, who would you rather have in Dynasty straight up? Kadarius Toney or Sky Moore?
I'd take Sky Moore.
I'm gonna go with Sky Moore.
I would take Moore.
Really?
Yeah,
I would.
Feels like it's just changing everything after one. I mean, I don't know. I want to go.
Yeah, but we've seen him. I feel like
we've seen Kadarius Toney show some level of upside and explosiveness that Sky Moore we've never seen. Sky Moore's never done anything.
But that's kind of the reason for me that I'm willing to give a little more
that
time.
This game,
Tony.
See, that's the thing we hear.
Yeah, I'm willing to give Tony more time. I do think that there is more potential for him, but in this offense, I just don't see him making a role for himself this year.
The problem with Sky Moore is it's scary that a game where he didn't even play half the game and 5 for 63 is considered a miracle. A miracle. That was considered a miracle because the rest of the season was so bad that this was considered like ridiculously good performance when it's not that good.
No, it wasn't an amazing performance, but
that's nothing.
It at least showed something because it
showed that he's not absolutely abysmal, and with everyone else out, can do a little.
We have to remember that he's a rookie too.
Yeah, he's a rookie.
Like it really is.
I mean, he is a rookie, but he's had quite a long time. I don't know. It's been many weeks, and it hasn't really improved until now. So we'll see if he continues to step up. But I
think it's a chance for him to start a streak, to start some momentum going.
Yeah,
like, I
mean, right now I have 9 games of failure and 1 game of success. So I don't know. I feel like I'm still counting 9 games of failure a little bit more than 1 game of success.
Well, I mean, you can't consider them necessarily failure. He does need to make his way out onto the field for sure.
Well,
I mean,
that's part of the problem.
Snaps. Yeah.
Well, that's part of the problem.
I agree.
I don't care how inexperienced you are. If you were not playing over Justin Watson, something is wrong. Like your second round pick. I don't care how much time you take. You had all summer to develop. If you're not playing over Justin Watson, there's some problem. Like that's not normal. Most second round picks should be playing over a nobody from the beginning.
Yeah,
from the beginning, they should be playing over a nobody. It's one thing if they had. It's one thing. Okay, he wasn't playing over. Let's say he wasn't. The issue was Mecole Hardman. He wasn't playing over Mecole Hardman, also second round pick from a few years ago. Marquez Valdes-Scantling. It's not great. He's a veteran. I understand. Okay, give the veterans a little bit of deference. Garrett Wilson didn't play a full set week 1.
Different roles. I mean, Sky Moore and MVS. Yeah.
Right. Those guys are veterans. They have experience, whatever. One of them signed a contract to be there. That's fine if you don't play over those guys. But if you're not even playing over a nobody, then that is a problem. That's not normal. That's not normal. So the beginning of his rookie year was much worse than I'd say your average second round pick would have shown you a little bit more over 9 weeks. I mean, he showed you nothing. I mean, bottom basement of someone who actually was not hurt, was available for all of those weeks. He showed you nothing. Yeah. So let's see if he gets back on a better course. But, I just want to make sure that people don't get carried away after one okay game where everyone else is injured.
It's nothing to get carried away by. It's
3 players injured.
But it's something you've got to keep an eye on because he showed something. He showed some form of life. It's something you've got to keep an eye on.
Well, he was working his way into the Dynasty abyss.
Yeah, he was.
Honestly, when Tony got traded there, I was a little bit worried about Sky Moore because it's just like he's getting buried.
I got worried as well. I got very worried.
But I still trust in Moore's talent, and I'm hoping that the opportunity follows. And because it is his rookie year, it is not an easy offensive scheme that they have there in KC. So I'm going to chalk it up a little bit to his learning the system. And, now that there are some injuries, like Kadarius Toney probably going to be out for a week or so, like now is the time later in the season. I think Sky Moore, if he steps up, he can kind of establish a little bit more value. So I like him a little bit more, but Tony definitely has been electric whenever he's had a good number of touches. Yeah.
We'll see if he can stay healthy, which is always
a
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pacheco's ceiling in half PPR leagues. Does he even have much of a ceiling? I mean,
only because he's on KC.
Pacheco, the thing is, he for me, watching him play, I went back and watched a little bit of him. He looks pretty good carrying the ball. I mean, I think he looks better than any Chiefs running back out there right now.
That's not a hard competition.
But it's not a hard competition.
Really not a hard competition.
That's fair. That's not a hard competition. But he looks like he's going to get the opportunity. He's going to get the work because he looks pretty good. Year. But when you look at Isaiah Pacheco, the problem is his ceiling is so capped because when you look at he has – guys, I want you to guess how many receptions he has on the year. How many receptions does Isaiah Pacheco have on the year?
4.
3.
2 catches on the year.
And
these last 2 games, 16 carries, 82 yards, 15 carries, 107 yards. That's great. But he's not getting receiving work, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah. So
it just doesn't matter. If you don't get receiving work if you don't get receiving work as a running back, the ceiling is not there.
So
It's
his
just not.
upside, it will depend on getting into the end zone because he's not getting
that's
those
it.
extra targets and receptions. But
Well, he's
the
only
thing
gotten
about
into the end zone
KC
one
though-
time all year.
Yeah, the thing about KC though
Yeah,
is
that was week 1.
he will have
That's kinda bad luck.
opportunities. He will have opportunities to get in the end zone on the ground. So I
He
mean,
will, yeah. I
I'm
mean,
not
this
super
offense is going to
excited.
score a lot of points.
Yeah, I'm not super excited about Pacheco, but as a flex, like it's not too bad. I think.
I mean, something he
Yeah,
has
you
been
can
very
do worse.
unlucky. I mean, Mecole Hardman has 4 carries and he's scored on 2 of them.
Yeah.
That's
Let's not
the-
forget
yeah,
Noah
he's not unlucky,
Gray's
but, like,
1 carry that he scored on.
Yeah.
So he is
the
unlucky.
potential isn't there if the pass catcher work isn't there. Like the
No,
upside isn't there. If you're a running back that's getting like 15 to 20 carries a game and no receptions, unless you're Derrick Henry, like you're not going to have upside in fantasy football. It just doesn't really work out because he could have he averaged 7 yards per carry in his last game, 15 carries, 107 yards. Excellent game. 10.7 fantasy points.
Yeah.
Like it
I mean,
just
even the
doesn't
week
matter. He had an
before-
amazing
even the
game.
week before,
And he scored 10 points.
Even the week before, he
Yeah, the
carried
week
5
before.
yards to carry, and he had 82 yards on 16 carries, finished with like five points.
I mean, what are the odds that
I
going
think he
into
did have
2023
did he have a fumble in that game?
Yeah, he had a fumble.
that,
My memory
what are the
serves right,
odds
he
that
had a
going
fumble
into
in that game. He was
2023
very
that we're
efficient.
ranking Isaiah Pacheco as the Chiefs starting running back? I'd say they're minimal. I mean, I find that hard to believe. Like they
I mean,
can't.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire being hurt does help him a little bit, but again, if he's not going to get the passing down,
Yeah,
work
but
anyway,
it's not about Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I think they need to bring in an actual running back,
like Melvin
Yeah,
Gordon.
they need a running back. They need like
not Melvin Gordon. I don't mean someone you can bring in now. I mean someone you can bring in for next year.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I mean,
they
I
need
don't
a draft
know.
pick.
How about what if they traded up and drafted Bijan Robinson?
Dude,
Or
they're
even
not
like
gonna-
Jahmyr Gibbs.
that's too insane, man.
Uh,
That's not a
yeah,
dynasty.
Wouldn't that
Dynasty.
what about that? Wouldn't that be great?
That'd be insanity,
insane.
man.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Daryl Henderson Jr. could work out well in KC.
I
pretty
mean,
good pass catching
he
back.
would work out very well in Kansas City on the bench. He could replace Ronald Jones as the healthy scratch every week.
Dude, don't mention Ronald Jones, man. That still makes me sad, man.
Well, it's better than what I said yesterday about J.K. Dobbins.
Dude,
Josh
What
said
about what if
Josh
about
said that
Jahmyr
J.K.
Gibbs, who's
Dobbins
been
was
pretty
a
good
top
this year?
20 was going to be a top 20 running back next year. And I
Okay,
was like,
not me, Josh. Josh.
other
Future.
Josh.
Yeah.
He said that J.K. Dobbins was going to be a top 20 running back next year, and I was like, yeah, he will be in the XFL. Thought that was a good.
Dang.
Yeah, Savage Tyler has very much come out lately. The chains have been cut off.
But overall, in this Pacheco ceiling, I mean, like a fringe flex play right now because the receiving work isn't there, and the red zone work. I mean, look, Patrick Mahomes can run. You got Travis Kelce that can get short passes. They give little jet sweeps to their wide receivers. Like
They work the other tight ends.
running
I have
work is not
Isaiah
great. And they have
Pacheco
the running backs.
This week with Clyde
The goal line work
Edwards-Helaire
is not
out.
always going to go to him.
Clyde
Go ahead.
Edwards-Helaire is out. I have Isaiah
Yeah.
Pacheco ranked at running back 27. Yeah, there are no teams on bye. but
Yeah,
even
that's
so,
fair.
that's
That's a
not
fair
that
ranking.
good. Yeah. So that's
A
not-
very
that's not
solid
bad.
fair ranking for him.
Too bad Javonte got hurt. We see how Gordon would not have affected him. Yeah, I mean, it is what it is.
Wait, can we
Check-
talk on that for just a second? I think it's kind of
Yeah.
interesting that so when it was Javonte and Gordon, they kept Gordon
It's
around.
funny.
But now they have just Latavius and some other scraps, and then they waive Melvin Gordon. I actually think that's
They do have
worse
Chase
for
Edmonds.
Javonte.
No, they don't.
You know?
Chase Edmonds has a high ankle sprain. He's going to miss.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? I think
Oh, I
that
missed
actually
that.
speaks more
Shoot.
to their view of
Missed that
Javonte.
injury.
That Javonte's not their ever going to be their workhorse back like a lot of dynasty guys are wanting and hoping for. So I think Javonte, man, if you can sell him now, even with his injury, some people still value him so highly. Just move him.
I would,
man.
yeah.
Move
I
him.
think he's worth getting rid of. Yeah, I completely
I don't
agree.
think so. I think I want to keep him.
Why? If you can move him for a first plus right now,
You
I'll
can't.
do it in a heartbeat.
You can't
No,
move him for a first plus.
I've seen him move this year.
I think you
Well,
can.
then I would do it. But
I've
you
I've seen
can't.
him move for a 23 first.
Yeah.
Really?
I've seen him
Yeah.
move for more than that value.
Oh, that's
Yes.
not what I've seen.
People love Javonte. I mean, the hype train is still alive in some people.
Why would anyone do that? Why would that's so
No.
stupid? Why would
I
anyone
recently
trade-
saw someone sent me a dynasty trade Twitter DMs. I think it was Devin Singletary, Javonte Williams, and Jalen Waddle for Christian Watson, Chris Olave, and I believe it was 223 firsts.
Wow. See, I haven't seen anything like that. Like what I've seen mostly is
like big trade.
See, I haven't seen that though. I've seen mostly like Javonte Williams for like a 24 first. Not nearly as appealing to me.
No. I've seen
like,
a lot
Javonte
steeper than that. A lot steeper than that. I see that a lot.
You also have to remember though that I don't want to say that I'm in an echo chamber, but I am in, and I think I get this a little differently from you guys, is most of the people I interact with actually take their advice from me first. So they don't do this kind of stuff. The only time they do it is if I have to clean up the mess later. But that's not the majority. Most of my patrons ask me before they make trade, which is always what I recommend. Ask me before
please
make the trade.
Yeah, that is so much better. It is so much better.
Of course, they're not doing that. They're not giving up because I'm saying, no, don't do that. Don't give up a package for Javonte. Why do that? He's not going to play until next year. And most of the people I've said who have Javonte, don't sell him cheap. Just hang on.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure some of them have tried, but to be fair, I guess from that perspective, I have not heard a lot of people who have Javonte being able to trade him for these large returns. I haven't heard anything like that.
Well, I think it's similar to like Breece right now, right? Breece Hall, he's injured, but he's also being moved for still a lot of capital. I think some people had Javonte for a little while at that level, where he's top 5 easily in their minds, and they're willing to buy up for him, for him to return from a very, kind of like regular injury, if you will, where he's going to come back and probably be very much the running back.
Wasn't there a little wrinkle in his injury though? Wasn't there with an additional knee problem?
I hope
there was something additional to the ACL, right? There was something else.
Yeah,
that made it much worse. It looks like a J.K. Dobbins kind of injury, whereas like this could keep him out longer than we think. So yeah, I'm actually concerned for Javonte's health problem right now. Like I think he can come back next year and not look as good. Or pull a J.K. Dobbins on us. Like, I'm genuinely concerned that's a reality.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a possible reality.
Anything is possible.
That is also true.
Anything's possible. Zach Wilson could actually develop into a good quarterback. I could age in reverse.
Man, Zach Wilson. Good Lord.
Like,
All right.
I could grow a rhinoceros horn on my head.
Yeah, let's go.
What? What's wrong with the rhinoceros? Pacheco looks like the guy now. Don't expect targets. That we covered that. All right. This is a good question. Do we see a bright future ahead for Josh Palmer, or are we content selling him for a 23-second? And I just want to appreciate Eric. I know he met Cal and introduced us to Ask DLF Jr. Unfortunately, Cal is no longer with us. Well, he's still alive, but he's no longer on the show.
This is really, really tough. Because the thing is, Josh Palmer, when Keenan Allen and Mike Williams have been on the field, it's just like he's not really.
Josh Palmer's addicted to
part of the offense.
catching 8 of 10 targets for 106 yards. He's done that.
But when Palmer gets the opportunity, he's great. When Palmer gets the opportunity, he really shows up. But the problem is, he doesn't always get that opportunity when other guys are on the field in front of him. So you really got to ask yourself here, do you expect the Chargers to actually give him a real opportunity, give him that number 2 role in this offense? With Keenan Allen still being Keenan Allen, with Mike Williams, being that guy, I know he's probably injured right now and probably going to miss another week or two. He re-aggravated that ankle injury. But we're not talking this season. We're talking really future. I just don't see the Chargers ever giving him that number 2 role in this offense. I just don't ever see that happening for him. So
you'd sell?
If it's an early second, sure. If it's a late second, I might hold on, because if injuries happen or if somebody goes down or if I'm wrong and he really gets that opportunity, he's going to be great because he's a good player.
Yeah, I think he's a good player. I mean, I actually made a trade recently in a league that I'm contending in. I traded Palmer and a 23 first, which should be late, for CeeDee Lamb. So I thought that was a good.
Yeah, I think that's a good trade for the Lamb side for you. Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I think Palmer's the type of guy that I would probably hold on to a little bit because not that I think that he's going to be amazing. Here. He could be, but just look at the wide receivers he has around him. Like, frailty is their middle name, right? So if they're going to be hurt as often as one of them is hurt, and he always steps in as the number 2 guy, and he produces on that kind of high-powered offense, I think he's worth keeping around, even just as a guy on the bench to pull up, whenever there's an injury to Keenan Allen or Mike Williams. So I don't know if I'd want to hold if I could. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not desperate selling either when I say this. Like I said, early 23 second is pretty much my limit there. If it's like a mid or a late, I'm not as eager to sell him. So otherwise, if it's like an early second, maybe sure. If it's like the 12th to the 15th pick, sure, I might be willing to shoot on that. But otherwise, I want to hold on.
Not in a rush to get rid of him, but I think you're right. The objective value is probably there for that
because he's talented. We have seen the talent. We know it's there. When he gets the opportunity
this year,
he's been great.
He's been really good this year, like really good.
Yeah, I think a lot better than people think.
Yes, when the opportunity is there, remember this is his second year.
Yeah. I know
in the NFL.
He's got great chemistry already with Herb too. He's a good player. Herbert have great chemistry together.
They do.
He's averaging 55 yards a game this year. I mean, it's not nothing.
Yeah,
it's not nothing at all.
I mean, he hasn't. Over a 17-game season, it would be 85 for 937 and 6. Not that that's anything special, but it's not bad.
Yeah,
not irrelevant.
I mean, he has 6 games on the year right now with 8 or more targets.
Yeah.
No, he's been relevant and a part of game plan in most of these games.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's the kind of thing where Josh Palmer is going to be someone who is nice on your roster. The upside isn't really there because I don't think he's really ever going to develop into anything big, but he's someone who'll be playable from time to time, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think as long as he has a real one next to him.
Player.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was just saying. I was just agreeing with Tyler. He's a spotty start type of player. He's a guy that's going to have some big games, be involved in some games, and some games where the other receivers are going to take the volume away. Like, it's just not going to be there. Because, with Keenan Allen, there's games where Keenan Allen could have 15 targets. Like those games
there are players who are worth more in the best ball format. He's definitely one of them.
It's Joshua Palmer in best ball I agree, Tyler. He's one of those players.
It's generally the players who are worth more in best ball are usually these not primary options on the good offenses.
Yes,
you don't because they always can score, but you don't know when it's going to be.
Like like Gabe Davis a little bit.
Gabe Davis is good enough that I wouldn't put him in that category. Dawson Knox is actually in that category, though.
Dawson Knox is definitely in that category.
A lot of tight ends on good offenses fall into that category.
Yeah,
but
he hasn't scored this year, though. Dawson Knox.
You want to target players in good offenses.
Yeah, Dawson Knox is
primary weapons because they can.
Dawson Knox has been weak this year.
Fields injury concern rest of season.
Oh, as a Bears fan, I'm so sad that he was hurt.
But Trevor Siemian.
The problem is he never passed the ball super well anyway, so it's not like he's going to pass it.
Yeah, he didn't really. I mean, it's also not his throwing
shoulder. More like this is more like
most of his production's on the running game, so definitely like lower your expectations, but it's nothing like.
Look, the fantasy footballers, I feel like, said it pretty well. If Justin Fields is playing, you're probably going to start him. So
exactly, that's how it goes.
I just worry that he's not going to play as
well. If he's not playing,
but
if he's not playing, then you're not. Yeah. If he's not playing, then it's very easy. Then you're not going to start him.
Yeah. In redraft, if you have Justin Fields right now, I would spend probably a waiver to pick up a QB to play just in case this week.
Probably,
he may not play.
He's
day to day, but a dislocated shoulder is not something you just kind of, right away pop back in.
Was it dislocated? Yeah. Was it official that it was dislocated?
I think they said it's a dislocated.
We don't know exactly.
I saw some report a Bears reporter said Adam Schefter said it's not a dislocation.
Oh, really?
Yes, I saw that somewhere. I can't confirm it was 100% accurate, but I did see somewhere that it didn't seem to be a dislocation. I can research that real quick.
Research that.
Okay, the first thing that comes up is Bears quarterback Justin Fields at the center of bizarre injury confusion. So
injury confusion.
Yeah, hold on. Yeah. Bears Wire.
Oh, no.
Bears Wire says Bears quarterback Justin Fields reportedly did not dislocate his shoulder.
Okay, good.
So hey, that's great. So I mean, that makes the day-to-day sound, way more
Yahoo Sports ruled him day-to-day.
Yeah. Okay,
yes.
Great.
So that makes a little bit more sense. So, I don't know what it is then. That's weird. Whatever. We can move on.
Yeah. All right. Is Jacobs enough of an upgrade over Singletary to trade Kupp for him? In Dynasty, who's worth more, Kupp or Jacobs?
Cooper Kupp or Josh Jacobs?
Yeah.
Kupp,
right?
I would say Kupp.
That's tough. That's actually kind of tough for me. I'm worried about Kupp. I mean, not like
age is a concern.
significantly worried, but the age is there. I'm worried about Matthew Stafford, this quarterback. I'm worried about Matthew Stafford at quarterback. I'm worried about the Rams' offensive line. I'm a little worried about this offense in the future because they don't have any draft picks coming up in this draft. Like, they're not going to be able to fix anything. They spent a lot of their they spent a lot of their money this offseason, especially on Allen Robinson, who hasn't really turned out well this year. Like,
well, I mean, that's so unsurprising.
Yeah, they just don't have tons of cap space, and they don't have tons of draft picks. Like, they just aren't able to fix anything.
Yeah.
And I feel like
when it comes to Cup, though, you don't really need to fix anything because if it's Matthew Stafford, he's just going to chuck it to Cup over and over. He's the guy.
Yeah, but what if he's not that guy, that same guy anymore? Because he's going to be nearly 30.
Yeah.
Off a very serious injury. Like, this is
29,
tough.
I guess.
Yeah.
This is tough.
Yeah.
So this is actually close. I think I'd still just slightly favor Cup, but I think it's closer than you guys are making it seem.
Oh, no. I mean,
I didn't say
I think it's close. But I think
that's fake. That's fake news.
Yeah.
We're not going to have fake news on this show.
Yeah, because you guys went.
This is the new thing that I say all the time. Now,
you guys just seem to immediately go Cup, so I thought you might have been thinking it's not very close. But yeah, I think it's very, very close because Jacobs has just been dominant. He's played so well this year. He's played like one of the best backs in football. But I think I'd very slightly just keep Cup. I like wide receivers in Dynasty anyway, over running backs usually.
Yeah.
Oh, we did this already. All right. 10-team Superflex, half PPR, half tight end premium. Give first, mid, get Swift. Pretty sure we're out on Swift, but wanted to get your thoughts. Yeah, we're so out on Swift. I'll take the first easily. It's not tough.
Really?
No, it's not tough.
Really?
Because it's not because DeAndre Swift actually now we have a problem. He has actually a lot of problems. So there's
a big problem right now.
It's a big problem. Now we're on another year of it just seems like he's not able to consolidate the role. And now this year, it's really not good. I mean, 6 of the 7 games he's actually managed to play. That doesn't even include the ones he didn't play. There were quite a few of those. He didn't play in those games. He managed to have 7 or less carries in, all but one game this year. And then on top of that, his total, the best he's had is 5 receptions. He has not had 5 or more than 5 targets in any game. So this Austin Eckler role, there's no Austin Eckler role. He hasn't had that. So he has been a colossal bust. An utter failure. A disaster, a total failure.
Yeah,
and
no goal line.
I call him Disaster Swift. Disaster Swift. And honestly, I don't even want to call him Swift because he hasn't been so swift this year. It's actually looked very slow. So, Disaster Slowly. Maybe that one is better. We have to workshop it. Workshop that name. Disaster Swift for now. And we'll come back to that. Nothing will be as good as Denzel Minimal. That one. Although he was open for a touchdown this week and Zach Wilson missed him. We have a super chat. It's a good idea because we're not going to get to all the questions today. Without an adult to keep me on course. And Addison is younger than me, but I get off track much easier. Addison and Cal keep me in line.
Wow.
So FF Lefty, appreciate the super chat. 12-team, 1 QB, PPR start 8. Get Hollywood and 23 third. Give 23 112 and 23 second mid league. Pretty easy, right? I mean, I'll take Hollywood.
Yeah, I think I would take Hollywood there. Since it's a 1 quarterback league, the 112 isn't as enticing to me.
I don't think it's too difficult of a question. I feel like I have to take Hollywood because he has by far the most upside.
Yeah, definitely.
And 1 QB, I don't think we're going to pick anything at 112 that's going to
match. Not really. At 112, you're not looking at anything huge. Yeah.
I appreciate the super chat. It's an easy question. So I always appreciate the easy questions. All right. From Russ's Corpse.
Already did the trade, it looks like.
Well.
So Pierce
2 weeks ago for 23 first, that's turned into 101. That sounds good.
That one
excellent. Sounds very good.
Selling Pierce for any first is a good job, in my
agree,
opinion.
but that one sounds good.
Yeah.
Just
that's
traded
great.
Smith, Pacheco, Mack, early 3rd for Cup and late 23 first. Well, that sounds pretty good to me too.
So I'm guessing that's also still super flex.
Yeah, it's the same link.
Yeah, and we're Mac Jones, right?
Yeah. What else?
We're assuming it's Mac Jones.
What else
right?
could it be?
So you're getting
Yeah.
Cup and a late 23 first.
That's really interesting.
It's the Cup
But-
easily.
Because the
Yeah.
thing is, I think Cup and the first are the best players of the trade.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a Cup side easily. It's not.
So-
It's not hard.
I don't know if it's
Yeah.
the only thing that's not easily for me is that Mac Jones, is a young quarterback, and I know he's not
but he's
amazing,
young, but it's been a
in
lot of
Superflex,
failure.
It's been,
I mean-
it's been just okay.
think
and boring.
The
Yeah,
Patriots
not
were
bad,
more
like,
exciting
average.
during the Zappy hour. I miss the Zappy hour.
Yes,
the Zappy
Bailey
hour was
Zappi,
better.
bring him back.
The Zappy hour was much better. The Mac Jones hour is no
Unleash
good.
Bailey Zappi.
I mean, he definitely likes to chuck
free
it further
Bailey
down the field.
Zappy.
Free
Yeah,
Bailey Zappi.
Free Bailey Zappy. I agree.
Yeah, exactly. Release him. You're right.
Release him. No, don't do that. He's a
See,
great
he's
player.
good. He's
Come
He
on,
has
man.
big potential.
His big potential is for puns to use with his last name. That's the biggest
Well,
difference, I think.
I think that Bailey Zappi could be good in the NFL.
I think he's good, yeah.
And Mac Jones-
But yeah, this
Mac
trade
Jones
is pretty
is-
easy.
It's
Cup and
good.
Big
He's not
Cup.
awesome, but Mac Jones is good. He's a game manager, and
He's
very
good.
vanilla.
So wait, after this trade, it looks like this person will have three
So,
firsts because they
Mac
said they're at
Jones,
current 106.
he's so good that he has 4 touchdowns compared to 7 interceptions this year. And he's very good. He's averaging 198 passing yards a game. so that's
Jones has been
excellent.
disappointing.
Excellent.
He
It's
hasn't
excellent.
like,
really
he
good.
came in year one, right? He came in year one.
But it's
and he
good.
looked
That
good
was
because-
what Josh said. He said it was good, but it's actually not so good. If you look at the
He's
numbers,
not.
it's
He
actually
has not
so
been
good.
as good this year. Obviously, they even brought Zappy.
No,
in,
it's
and
also
he's
there are
still
more
right.
problems. There's more problems. So in last year, he was actually good at evading the rush. In 17 games, he only took 28 sacks. This year, in his 7 games, he's already taken 21 sacks. There have been many times where he's run into the sack. So it's actually not so good. Despite the fact that he didn't play all of some of those 7 games. He actually was taken out of parts of those games. He still managed to get sacked 3 times per game, which would go to 51 sacks over a whole season. So it's actually been I'm in mid rant.
What's up?
I was just saying that
Yeah,
Mac
you
Jones is
stopped
actually
his
not
rant.
been so
Thank you.
good. There
Thank
are
you, Ryan.
many
Hey, you're
problems.
welcome.
But anyway, Ryan, tell the people about yourself.
I mean, I'm on the show with you every Monday. I've got a couple of pods going on the side. I like talking ball with you guys.
Tell
and yeah,
people
that's-
about those pods. You never promote them.
I'm not a big promoter. You got to teach
Get
me how
over
to
it.
promote well.
Yes, I teach
I mean-
you. There's nothing to teach you. You don't do it. If you did it, it would be better than not at all.
Just say the name of it.
Just say the
That's- like,
name.
I do the sideline to sideline podcast with my buddies. I need to start that back up. We just do fun weekly picks each week, betting whatnot against the spread. Just 3 guys talking, and then I started a new one with one of my buddies, Parker, and we just go over DFS. So like I have every aspect covered. I have DFS, I have
I love
fantasy,
it.
I have bets. I do it all. It's fun.
And your bed is made. It's good.
Of course.
Of course, you wouldn't come on to DLF without your bed being made, right?
And blue,
I don't even go on
is
your
not your
show.
favorite color, right? That was confirmed. Blue is not your favorite color.
What is your favorite color?
Orange. Someone who's
Orange.
Josh, which Josh got heat for that? Was that you, Josh? Was that
What-
other
what's
Josh?
up?
It was probably other Josh.
No,
Other
about
Josh is-
what your favorite color being blue.
Orange. No,
Oh,
his
no, I don't
favorite
know
color was
about that
orange
one.
too.
Yeah, that's probably
it was other
Josh's
Josh. Okay, it was one of the
That
two, right?
reminds me of the Blorange. Have you ever heard of that?
No.
It's a mountain in Wales. It's the only word in English language that rhymes with orange.
Nice. Unless you're
I'm trying to
Eminem,
do
then you
that.
can rhyme with
Blorange. You can look
Wasn't
it
that,
up.
Like Ned's Declassified, like all those years ago, growing up.
No, I didn't learn it from Ned's Declassified.
That-
Although I
that's
do
where
like
learned
Ned's
it. The dude that
I
always
did-
spun the basketball.
I did learn I watched Ned's Declassified.
Such a good show.
Oh snap.
Ned's Declassified. Ryan and I are like the same enough age to have watched some of the same shows.
Drake and Josh.
Yeah, I did watch Drake and Josh. Happy Thanksgiving, guys. I'm thankful for all your hard work. Well, I'm thankful for the people. I'm thankful for the people, even though, there aren't as many people watching this show as there used to be. I appreciate those of you who have stuck with me throughout the changes in co-host. The time has always been the same. And through all of my potentially bad moods that I have been on the show in, I appreciate everyone who has stuck with me through all of that. And I promise that this show will be great, continue to be great moving forward. How did that sound?
Sounded pretty good.
Oh,
That
I'm running
sounds
for
good.
president, by the way.
That's a good promise.
I'd vote,
Vote
you.
for me.
would.
Not really.
Vote for me.
Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't that be great if I use this to start launching a political campaign? I think that would be a bold move.
Please no, please.
Can you imagine? Can you imagine me?
Well, you could say Tippecanoe and Tyler too. There's already.
Oh my
phrase
God,
for that.
yes. William Henry Harrison, bro.
Hey, you know
Hey.
your stuff. Nice.
No slouch here.
Okay. Yeah, fun trivia stuff.
Yeah, no, I actually do a lot of trivia.
Yeah, I
like,
love
I really
trivia.
enjoy. Yeah, like bar
Yeah.
trivia and stuff like that. I really love that kind of
That's
stuff.
awesome.
So that's why I know that. That's why I know that one specifically.
Yeah.
Should I trade Waddle and Amari for Christian Kirk and Kenneth Walker? Ryan, go first. Dynasty. 'Cause it's DLF.
Dynasty.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, we
context
assume
matters.
Dynasty
We
on
don't
here
have any
unless-
context here.
Well, Dynasty should be enough.
Yeah, I feel like it's close.
It is close. I gave you a hard one to start
Yeah,
with,
really.
didn't I?
That's very difficult.
Yeah, this is actually a very difficult question.
This feels like right down the middle because like
really
Amari and
does,
Kirk have
yeah.
to be close.
Low key.
Man.
I
And
feel
then
like
Waddle and Kenneth Walker.
who's
Depends,
worth more,
right?
Waddle or Kenneth Walker?
Waddle.
Waddle, but I
I think
think
Waddle's
Kirk,
worth
Yeah.
more.
Wow, because he's the wide receiver. Like it's just
but Kirk edges out Amari just by so much. It feels like
Yeah.
just by like this much.
really.
I like Amari more than Kirk. And I love Kirk.
I also have Amari ranked higher.
Yeah, but
I
I love
think it's fair. I think the Jacksonville Jaguars. I know they just traded for Calvin Ridley. I think they're going to be either drafting or making a big time free agent acquisition next year at wide receiver. I think they're or this coming up this upcoming offseason. I think a acquisition is coming. And I don't think we're.
You think
just,
they're going to
I
get another wideout? I think they're pretty
In
happy with
addition,
Kirk. Really?
I think they would add another wideout to Kirk.
well, they
got
already
Ridley.
added Calvin Ridley.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like they invested nothing in him. They had no idea what he is. I don't think they're going. I don't think they're going to trust him. I just think. I'm not saying it's like a first round pick or like a 5-year deal like they did with Kirk with somebody else. But like a second round wide receiver, I wouldn't be surprised by at all.
I think they're betting on Calvin Ridley.
Maybe I should do another. The walls
might.
of this maze hold many mysteries.
Yeah, if they don't add
segment.
anybody, that's what they would be doing. They'd be betting on Calvin Ridley. The fact that he can step up.
Yeah.
Because outside of Christian Kirk this year, it's been a disaster. Like it's been very on and off, and very spotty, been very untrustworthy. And they want to build their young quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. They want to build him into a franchise guy.
Yeah,
they
they got
gotta
the
add more
Joneses,
wide
They got
receivers.
Marvin and Zay, who have had like good games here and there, but just no one you can consistently count on.
No,
Yeah, but Kirk has
that
been
just isn't
really
enough.
good.
That
Like
just
I
isn't
think
enough to develop a young quarterback. That isn't
people
enough.
have to give Kirk a lot of props. I think because
No, he's
Yeah.
great. He is
people have
great.
definitely written him off.
But I don't think Amari has.
Oh, I think you just muted yourself. Yeah, you're muted. Touch.
Did I do that?
Technology comes for us all.
Even the youngins.
Even the
Did we fix it?
I think he's muted still.
How? Oh,
I'm not sure. It's probably his.
I
did
can't
you-
unmute you.
yeah,
I
it's probably
tried.
his own mic.
I can't unmute you. You have to unmute
We
yourself.
still cannot hear you, bro.
Yeah, you got to unmute yourself.
Right now.
There you go.
Oh, there we
Yeah.
go.
Nice.
Okay.
There you go.
Yeah, sorry. I think my mic disconnected from the computer real quick. But anyways, what I was saying about what did I get cut off? I was talking about Amari.
We were talking
right?
about Christian Kirk giving him props.
Yeah, Christian Kirk deserves a lot of props. Then I also is going to go into. I don't think Amari Cooper though. I don't think they're going to add competition in Cleveland. Like I don't think that's a very realistic
Oh
outcome
yeah, it's like him and
for them this
DPJ.
year. What's up?
Yeah, it's probably gonna be him and DPJ.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be him, DBJ. I mean, David Bell, if he ever does anything, I don't think that's gonna happen. But I mean, I don't think he has a lot. That's how, and they're like they build their offense on their run game. Like Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, they built their offense through that.
It's gonna be awesome to see when Deshaun Watson comes back.
Yes, it'll be
Not that I'm
interesting.
a fan of Deshaun Watson as a person and all this.
Yes,
other stuff,
no,
but on
not
the
very
field, him and Amari Cooper is definitely something to look forward to. I think in fantasy and in football.
Well, you know how I feel about Deshaun Watson.
I know.
You
I
can
think.
go- you
I
can
think.
go back
I don't know
and-
if Ask DLF knows how I feel about Deshaun Watson. I've said it a lot across Twitter and a lot across everywhere. I don't know if they know how I feel, but
You've never been on the show when I've been talking about Deshaun Watson.
And he's going to be back soon. I think he's eligible to
Week
practice
13.
this week, right?
He was able to practice last week.
Yeah,
Yeah,
week
okay.
13.
Yes.
Starting week 13 against.
Oh yeah, from
Houston.
my perspective,
Yeah, the
just-
NFL planned that. You
For
can't
sure
convince
they
me
did.
otherwise.
Of course
you
they
can't
planned
convince
it.
me
We all
otherwise.
know
They planned that.
we all know that. I mean, come on.
You can't convince me otherwise. They
They
planned
just
that.
want the
100%.
storyline. You know, they
course
fall
they
under
do.
the idea
They want
of
millions and billions of dollars.
any
and
good-
whatever.
what
They're
any
business.
media is good media to them.
Yeah.
You know, except for the story about the Commanders. That one is not so good. They don't want people to talk about that one. Joe Mixon or Rashad White in 24 seconds. Crazy this is where we are.
Not quite there yet.
Yeah, I'd keep Mixon.
Yeah,
I'm not there yet.
I'm keeping Mixon.
No.
But
I
I've
keep
always
Mixon.
liked Mixon. He's one of those mercurial guys where some people are dead set on Mixon not being very good, and they'll talk about his efficiency. And
I'm one of those people.
yeah. Although he looked pretty efficient on that one game where he had like 10 touchdowns.
That game. Oh,
That was
my
insane,
God,
man.
ridiculous. That was. Oh my goodness. It was so dominant performance.
And then it all went to shit.
Yeah, that's the last couple weeks have been. That's great.
Yeah, not great.
And
Well, let's just say
Oh,
they've
no.
been less good. We'll be
let's
nice
say
to
that
him.
less good is a good way to put
Less
it.
good. Yeah. See, I'm trying to turn over a new leaf and be nicer.
Yeah. So, what do you guys think though? Like overall value might lean right to Rashad White and 24-second, but
I don't even know if we're there yet.
I don't think we're there yet.
I just
really
think it
don't.
probably has to do also with where your team is at in this league. Where if you are,
Oh yeah,
competing,
definitely.
obviously,
Because if you're in a complete rebuild, I would rather have Rashad White in a 24-second.
yeah. So it really is kind of context too, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%.
I would obviously, like, if you can, I would shoot for more than Rashad White in a 24-second. But if you're in a complete rebuild and this is the last offer you're getting,
Yeah.
I'd be willing to shoot that shot because Rashad White, like,
We don't know
he has
for
the
sure.
opportunity to take over this backfield soon.
I still think Lenny's going to hold it at least for this year, and they're going to share it together.
Yeah, at least for this
Lenny's
year. But if you're in a
right,
rebuild, that
but-
doesn't matter. This
I
year
don't
doesn't
think he's
matter at
going to
all.
hold it this week, let
This
alone this
week.
year.
As long as he's fully healthy. I mean, if he's not healthy, obviously he's not.
They
Gonna
literally said that he is losing the job.
They said that they're not going to give it to him.
I mean, that's what the beat reporter from Tampa Bay said.
Yeah, most beats reporters are saying
Yeah.
that he's losing this job right now.
We'll
I have
see.
Rashad. So for start to say, I have Rashad White ranked ahead of Leonard Fournette this week.
That is totally fair.
Yeah,
With
that's probably consensus.
ECR, by the way. I mean, ECR agrees with me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
that's
not
how
a
it
hot
should be.
take.
That's how it should be. That's not a hot take at all.
All right, from Gabriel, Allen Robinson, Devonta Smith. Oh, this starts it. Miles Sanders, Tyler Lockett, or Cordero Patterson. I'm pretty sure I have Tyler Lockett ahead by a lot.
I think Lockett is the plague of the
I
Ravens.
have Lockett ahead
Yeah.
by a lot. So
Mm,
Tyler Lockett pretty easily for me.
I might consider Sanders here.
I love Devontae Smith this week as well. I like Devontae Smith against the Packers.
Yeah. I consider him as well.
I think Sanders against the Packers is something I would consider above Lockett. That's just me though.
Yeah,
I tend to
Packers run these
prefer,
off. They're so
I
bad.
tend to prefer running backs in against like good matchups in the flex. So I try to shoot for a floor, much more often I think than upside guys.
Where are
They
they?
go ahead,
Where are
but-
they playing? Is it in Green Bay?
Yeah, they're playing against Green Bay.
Because that's gonna
Yeah.
be cold.
I don't know if
That's
it's.
gonna be cold.
I don't think it's in Green Bay, is it? I think they're in Philly.
They're in Philly.
I think so.
I mean, it's cold the game either way, but I mean, Green Bay would be colder. But yeah, I think after it
Yeah,
all,
I
I think
think
it's
Green
complete
Bay, I
Lockett.
think-
That Raiders matchup is just too good. The Raiders are a disaster of a team, and Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf.
But they still beat the Broncos this week.
Yes, because no one is a disaster as a team as the Broncos. They have been hilarious this year. The Broncos. It's just been so funny. watching them just fail.
Really?
No, it's been hilarious to me, honestly. I loved the
Yeah.
Broncos for this year. I thought they were going to take that division. I thought they were going to be Super Bowl contenders. Like, I really did believe in the Broncos. Watching them fall apart like this is just absolutely ridiculous. It's just because they've given up, like, they just sold the team to a new owner. They gave up everything for Russell Wilson. And now it looks like the pick they gave up for Russell Wilson is going to be a better pick than Seattle's pick, who's supposed to be rebuilding.
It happens, right?
It's so crazy.
I still believe Russell Wilson's going to bring it back. He's going to do it.
Not this year. I don't believe it.
Yeah. I mean, if I don't see some improvement like if Sam Darnold outplays Russell Wilson this week, I'm going to be so sad.
Oh, I think the Panthers are going to win.
Stop, man.
Wait, Sam Darnold's starting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Sam Darnold? How did I miss this?
Yeah. Baker
You missed
Mayfield's
everything, apparently.
I missed this.
Yeah.
Shoot. I've been behind. I've been at work. Hey, I've been at school and at work all day. Give me a break. Holy crap. I completely missed that. Sam Darnold's starting for the Carolina Panthers?
Yeah.
DJ Moore's going to have a heck of a game.
DJ
there.
Moore
DJ Moore to the moon.
You want to play DJ Moore against Denver? I mean, you go right ahead.
No, I don't want to at all. That's such a scary start. I don't want to play him. No. I don't want to at all.
I have DJ Moore at wide receiver 42 this week, so he's
that is a fair rank.
Off my radar.
That is a very fair rank. But I don't want to play anybody against Denver. Doesn't matter what offense you are. I don't play anybody. But yeah, Deontay Foreman, no. DJ Moore, no. Nobody against Denver is worth playing.
Yeah, I have Foreman at running back 32, so I don't want to play him either.
No.
Yeah, he's just so game flow based.
Yep.
They get behind.
Well, they're not going to get behind because Denver.
All right, for this question, I'll just say
nobody's going to score. That game could end 3-3.
All right. Superflex Start 10. Oh, this is funny.
Whoa.
Superflex Start 10 tight end premium. How the mighty have fallen.
Wow.
How the mighty have fallen here. Send Higgins and Auden. Get back Pitts. The mighty have fallen.
Wow.
Pitts all day.
Really?
Yeah, all day. In a 10 team. Look, in a 10 team.
It is Pitts, but
in a 10 team tight end
isn't it crazy that this is being asked? Like,
yeah, that's crazy. This is being asked.
It's Pitts all day for me. Like, it's not even close, honestly. Because look, Higgins and Otten, like when you're playing in a 10-teamer, what you need to do is you need to consolidate value and quality. And as bad as Pitts has looked this year with Arthur Smith, like making him block more than he goes out to catch, he's still going to be, top 3 dynasty tight end. And once they figure out how to use him as actually a receiver, which is what he's built for, although he's graded by PFF as a really good run blocker or pass blocker.
He is because he's massive.
Yeah, because he's just a sick athlete. But
he's unbelievable.
I think I would take the Pitts side here like 10 out of 10 times without question. That's just, again, for me personally, because you should already have good wide receivers.
I think I would as well, but I don't think – because I actually genuinely do like Cade Otton. He was a sleeper for me coming out of the draft. He was a sleeper for me. I really did like him. I think he's very athletic and think has a lot of potential. And especially with the way this tight end room is looking in Tampa Bay, because Cameron Brate, a bunch of other veterans, like there's this spot is open. The spot is open for him to take an opportunity. Because when Cameron Brate's been out and Cade Otton has actually gotten the opportunity, he's come through and has some big games. And Brady he caught a game-winning touchdown in the last second of the game.
Yeah, Brady looks for him late in
that
game.
last second touchdown that they threw a couple weeks ago. Cade Otton caught that touchdown.
Yeah,
and won them the game.
But what did he have, like 3 targets last game? Like, I mean, that's the only thing is Otton, he shows upside and things like that, but he's never going to be like a focal point like Kyle Pitts will be for a well-run offense, where they feature him as they should. So,
I mean, I think if it's Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, and Cade Otton as the main 3 options, he will be an involved part of the offense. But yeah, I agree though. It's Pitts. I just wanted to play devil's advocate there with Cade Otton.
I appreciate you, FF Lifty. Oh, Brett. It's been a while. But yeah, no, I love Brett. I see Josh everywhere. Josh, are you everywhere?
No, I'm just at home.
Can I bank on Waller in week 16 and 17? No, you can't. You haven't been able to bank on Waller for 2 years.
Yeah, Waller Street is crashing. Get it?
Yeah,
Waller
I'm
Street.
done with him.
Got it.
He's been
He's been a disaster.
disaster. Yeah.
That would be
Yeah.
amazing though. What, right? Wouldn't it, like, for those who are holding on to him on the IR and then he comes back and he just carries people in the championships? That would be an amazing story.
Yeah, I mean,
I doubt
he had 2 good games. The other 2 games he wasn't so good.
No.
Yeah.
It just hasn't been there for him really this year. Just not at all. I would not want to bet on him in 16, 17.
Don't bank on him, but if you can hold on to him,
No.
why not? If you have the space, that's what I would say.
Yeah, because no one wants him at this point. No one wants to trade for him, so you're kind of stuck with him at this point.
It is what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
You can't really do much at this point with him.
I wonder if this is his real name, Cecil Fielder. That's a.
Oh, we talked
League
about this
Baseball
on the
player.
show. We talked about this quite a few times.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
This
That'd be-
specific
I
person?
don't think. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Hall of isn't he in the Hall of Fame? Cecil Fielder?
I
I don't
believe
think
so.
so.
Really? He was really good.
I think I should be in the Hall of Fame. I think so. I think that I want to be in the Hall of Fame.
Which one though? That's the thing. I mean, there's lots of halls
fantasy
of fames.
Hall of Fame. I want to be in the Hall of Fame when I retire.
Is there a fantasy sports Hall of Fame?
Pretty sure there is.
So
There
look,
is?
I told you guys about this. For Toyota sponsored a Yahoo Fantasy Football Hall of Fame, and I was part of the class of 2016. But
Really?
then they lost sponsorship, and then they disbanded the whole thing. It was like a virtual Hall of Fame. Like I showed Tyler this, and he said it looks nothing like me. It's my mini bust, you see, and it says right here, Hall of Fame, class of 2016.
That's
They gave us like
insane.
a Hall of Fame jacket and like flew us out to California. It was pretty cool, but I went to look it up one day and I was like, huh, the site's gone. It was like Toyota, stopped sponsorship for it. So
Oh no.
pretty sad. But I always wonder because there's still the Yahoo part of Levi Stadium, and that's where they had the virtual Hall of Fame. I wonder if they still have that booth or not. You guys haven't been to Levi Stadium lately, right? In San Fran?
Ever.
No. Never.
Yeah, it was a pretty good game too. It was the 49ers against the Seahawks back in 2016. So
Ooh.
that's when Kaepernick was still, I think, kneeling on the sideline.
Yes,
wasn't
that
starting.
was the year, right?
Yeah.
That was the year he was doing that.
Yeah.
Is it the year
And that's when
isn't
Russ
it- isn't
actually
the year he
looked
started
amazing.
doing that?
Yeah.
It was
2016?
only 1 year. Like the
It was
whole
only 1 year, right?
event
Yeah.
happened in
Yeah.
1
Yeah,
year.
it was
Yeah.
out.
1 year.
But Russ was still amazing then. So it's like,
Well, things have changed.
Yeah.
Things have changed. He's not
but
so
I
amazing.
don't think,
Definitely
can you
changed.
really fall off that hard? He's got to
Yes.
come back, man.
Yes,
No,
it
I
happens
just-
all the time.
He's got the
Yeah,
chance.
it happens
He's got
all the time. It
championship
just
heart. He's got it.
I really don't. Yeah. It was so because like what went wrong?
I think it's coaching. I think it's coaching and system.
Because
right now.
he's not that old, guys. He's like 33. He's not
Yeah.
that old.
But he's using Seahawk audibles. So like,
Oh yeah, I mean I heard that, but I mean that's all rumor kind of
Yes.
stuff, right? I mean,
I think I heard.
Yeah, we don't know that for sure.
yeah,
We don't know that for sure.
feels easy to believe.
yeah. Sounds like fake news though.
Fake news.
I mean, he has a good receiving core around him. He's in a decently talented offense around him. He's not crazy old. Like it just like
Yeah,
I have no idea.
I mean
How
they
good
they
is Mike
did, they
Murray
did give
class?
over offensive controls like
So-
to I forget
Yeah.
what his name is.
I haven't really got.
Was it Kubiak's son?
Yeah.
Who's
So
can take
hopefully
this
that
question
improves.
because who can take this question because I personally have not gotten tons into the
I
2023
usually,
class
whenever
yet.
this question comes up every week on the
And I'm
show,
not
and I usually
always-
just
I'm
say,
not
like,
always,
oh,
like-
well,
Because
it-
I'm not
it's pretty
always
deep.
watching college football. I usually get into it like when draft season
watch
starts
college
to start
football.
researching. I
Yeah.
haven't really done
It's-
that yet. So I honestly just can't tell you.
I-
I mean, I know Bijan Robinson's awesome. And I actually do like Jameer. I've watched a little bit of Jameer Gibbs. I love him. I think he's going to be really good. But
There's some wideouts coming out for sure.
there's some good there's a couple good wideouts. But yeah, I just I don't know. I
It's
just
so
don't know
tough
enough.
to judge at this point because
I
like
don't
if the
know enough.
quarterbacks
Yeah,
get
it's
draft
really tough.
capital, then sure, like the Anthony Richardsons and the Will Levises of the world, if they get draft capital, we're good. And the mid second's going to be like the late first. It feels like.
Yeah.
But that's as much as I got. We're not going to get that info till like April, May. So
Remember this year, man, when everyone was like Malik Willis easily 1.01, and then he didn't get
Yes.
Things
Oh my
change, you
goodness,
know.
man. Yeah, Malik Willis. I had him going in the first round.
Yeah.
And then he didn't.
Yeah, a lot of people.
And then yeah, he did not. No.
And then it was Small Hands Pickett that got taken.
Oh
Yeah, I
my
think
God.
I had
I think we could
three.
place
I think I
Bryce
had
Young
3
and
quarterbacks.
strike
I always
first
forget
round.
about Small Hands Pickett.
Yeah.
It always
We don't
comes
really
up.
talk about that anymore.
Yeah.
No, we
I mean, he's
don't.
played pretty well. He looked pretty good last couple of games, right?
He actually did. He's
Yeah.
made some good throws the past couple games. He's made some throws where you're like, what on earth was that? But he's also made some good throws. So I like seeing that from him.
Yeah. All right, from Mike. 12-team PPR Superflex tight end premium plus 0.75.
Ooh, nice.
Lots of 23 and 24 picks. Traded JT for Mark Andrews in 24 second. I like it. I'll take Andrews.
I would take Andrews there. Yeah, the tight end,
Andrews is
the tight end
a
advantage.
Premium makes me take
And
Andrews.
Andrews, I mean, honestly, if you're gonna bet which of these guys have a longer career in front of them, you got to bet Mark Andrews.
And
Yeah,
0.75 is pretty significant. Like
It's a lot, yeah.
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 0.75 to 1 point PPR extra for tight
It's
end
insane.
is good. It's really
It's almost
good.
double. Like
Yeah.
think about it, it's almost double. Like, it's
Yeah.
insane.
Like I
Especially
commission one where it's 2 PPR or like 1 PPR extra for tight end premium.
Yeah.
And I mean, yeah,
One extra? That's a lot.
yeah. So it's not 0.5 or 0.75. It's 1.
Man, Travis Kelce in that league.
Yeah.
I know.
He's a beast.
It's just madness. It's madness. Because the thing is, it doesn't make because it's so funny that when you think about tight end premium, like I've played in a couple of leagues with tight end premium, it's like it doesn't make the bad tight ends awesome. It just makes the awesome tight ends unbelievable.
Well, that's
and
what
just makes the other
problem
mid
is.
tight
What are
ends
the
fine.
awesome? That's the problem. Is what are the awesome tight ends though? There just aren't too many. But you're right though. Like
Yeah, but if you have that one,
Yeah.
you're set.
Yeah. it's
like-
so funny though because people really think tight end premium and they just start drafting tight ends early. But you're right. It's like the guys who get high volume and get a lot of
Yes.
receptions, like high target volume. Those are the guys that you want to hit, not guys
Yeah.
like Dawson Knox, right? Or like Robert.
Yeah, those
Tonyan.
are no, they don't matter because you're still getting like because Dawson Knox is like his stat lines will be like 3 catches for like 27 yards.
Yeah.
In tight end premium, that's still like 8 points in a double tight end premium, like double PPR tight end premium. That's still like 8.5 points basically. Like that doesn't matter. That's nothing compared to what Travis Kelce gets if he gets like I don't know if he gets like 8 catches, 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Like you're looking
I mean,
at 16
in
you're
any
looking
league
at
right now is he's just a
16,
different
10,
period.
12, 38 points.
Yeah.
Like it just doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The middle of the pack tight ends, like they just don't make that impact still even in double tight end premium. It just makes the good ones so much better. But yeah, go ahead.
Vikings or Steelers?
Rest of the season.
I need to look at their
Neither. I mean, neither.
I don't want
really.
either.
Either.
I don't
yeah,
want either. But
one
if you
either.
had to choose one, let's look at what are the schedules? I just
Yeah.
gotta find the schedules.
Well,
Yeah,
this
I
week,
just find it.
this week I would rather, I guess, play the Vikings against the Patriots than the Steelers at Indy. I guess.
Yeah, those are 2 very good matchups for both of them.
Yeah,
Those two
but
pretty
they're bad
matchup.
defenses. Neither is the answer.
Man, they're
Uh-oh.
bad defenses. I wouldn't want to bet on them. But yeah,
Yeah.
Rest of season, Brady or Jimmy G?
Oh man.
Ugh.
Oh, interesting. That's interesting.
I'll go with Brady, but it is close.
So
It is.
It's
It
funny
is.
that it's
has
these
some
two
very
being
choice
compared.
matchups.
Guys, Brady doesn't have a QB1 week in
Yeah.
5 of his last 5 games.
Yeah,
I
and
know.
Jimmy G has all the Yak boys, man. I mean,
Yeah,
Do
with
anything.
McCaffrey and Debo and Ayuk, like
even
it's just-
Kittle. I mean, there's just
and Kittle too. Yeah.
everyone, man. Yards after catch. It's crazy. It's hard to go against Brady because
You guys, Jimmy G in the past 5 weeks has 3. In the past 6 weeks, he has 4 QB1 finishes, 4 top 10 finishes. Brady in the past 5 weeks has 0 top 10 finishes. Jimmy G's been straight up outplaying. When you look at Jimmy
know.
G's schedule, next week New Orleans, they're a pretty bad defense.
Yeah,
Next week and the next
Miami.
week after that, Miami, not a great defense. Against Tampa Bay next week, they're spotty on and off. Against Seattle week 15.
Yeah, he has a very good playoff.
Washington
matchup,
week
too.
16, Las Vegas week 17, and if you play week 18, Arizona.
I think.
Well,
you
don't
gotta
play
go-
week
That's
18.
unbelievable.
I really
Nobody
hope
can
nobody.
know.
I really hope nobody in the chat is playing week 18.
Yes, I would hope so. If you're playing week 18,
You're in the wrong league.
you're in the wrong league. You need to figure that out. But like that's just a nice schedule. That's a
Yeah.
cakewalk schedule.
Yeah.
So was the end of Brady's though. You got Arizona and Carolina in the last.
Sure,
two weeks
you
of
do. Yeah,
fantasy
but, like-
season. But Is he going to do
Yeah,
anything?
when you look at who's been performing,
Yeah.
Jimmy G's been straight up outplaying Tom Brady in fantasy for the last like 6 weeks, and it's not even close.
I'm not
Like, it
arguing.
really
I'm just trying to provide a counterpoint. 'Cause I think it's Jimmy G too, but
Yeah, they're
Isn't
like
that crazy. That's so weird.
they're like
how far we fallen?
I know, like it's just what is the argument for Brady right now? Because Jimmy G's not playing him. The schedule, arguably, for it looks better for Jimmy Garoppolo the rest of the season.
For the argument for Brady,
The receiving core is better in San
football's all he's
Francisco. The
got
running
right
game's better in San Francisco. The offensive line, it's debatable. But I would argue
Okay.
San Francisco.
Hutch. Brady, football is all he's got right now, man. You saw what happened with FTX and family and all that. Like he needs
Yeah,
to win.
football's all he had for the past 6 weeks, and he still doesn't put up numbers.
I mean,
matter.
Have
Brady's,
some compassion, Hutch. I'm just kidding.
Brady's averaging a lot more yards than Garoppolo, so maybe if the touchdown regression goes back his way. I mean, it's not like he doesn't have receiving.
That's the only possible counterpoint is the touchdown regression.
Yeah.
Because with Garoppolo, you're gonna have to get lucky with
With
touchdowns.
Garoppolo, the volume's not there, so
the volume isn't there.
So he's a lot of touchdowns.
He's got a
for the
lot of guys who
volume
can
he has.
house it though, like on one reception. Just take
Yeah,
it.
with Garoppolo, you're
All
gonna
right.
have to get in the end zone. You're probably gonna have to get in the end zone twice for Garoppolo to be
We
great
will.
for you. But if not,
We will now move at a faster pace. We will go. I promise we will catch up. I want to be off the stream by midnight. Some of us have, not that I have anything to do, but I want to answer all of the questions. Waddle or London in 23 seconds? It's Waddle.
Waddle,
Yeah.
definitely. Yep.
All right. Jamal and Pacheco or Kyron Williams 201 and 24 second?
Give me that 201.
Yeah, 201 side.
I think it's going to be really valuable this year. Unless you're making a playoff push.
Yeah, you would say.
Basically, if
Playoff
we now
push?
Jamal and Pacheco.
Playoff push gives me Jamal and Pacheco, but if you're not making that playoff push, I would take the 201.
Yeah, and the 24-second on top of that too.
AJ Brown and Christian Kirk for 23 first, second, 24 first, and second.
AJ Brown and Kirk. For me.
AJ Brown. And
Oh, I
Kirk.
thought it said AJ Brown for Kirk in those picks. No, take
Yes, I thought it said that too for a
I thought
second.
It's
I
a lot
read
better
and
when
Kirk.
it's a lot better with and.
Yes, a
Where
lot
Kirk
better.
were on the
with
other
him. Yeah,
side
AJ Brown and
than-
Kirk, definitely.
Yeah, I'll hold
Yeah.
Kirk and AJ
Yep.
Brown.
Yeah. Okay. Jameson Williams or Pittman? It's Pittman
I'm
easily
going
to
Williams.
me.
Williams for me.
I
Really? He
think
hasn't done anything.
I know, but I still believe in the talent. And Pittman, I think
I would
he's
take-
a product of his situation more than anything else. So we see
Yeah,
that.
I do want to. I think I'd slightly lean Pittman. I do want to give an argument for Jameson Williams here. Like, I think I've tweeted this on Twitter a long time ago. For some reason, like it's been brought up again. But Jameson Williams, like his fastest time when he clocked in college was just over 23 miles an hour. I think it was his first catch for his first touchdown catch in college. Since 2016, only 2 players have ever clocked in faster than what he did in that moment. Like Jameson Williams has game-changing speed. Like he's going to be a game changer, like Tyreek Hill level kind of game changer in an offense because he's just so quick. So with Amon-Ra St. Brown in this offense already, with DeAndre Swift, Jamal Williams, with other pieces in this offense, and with Jared Goff at quarterback, I don't know if that's going to change soon. It's kind of tough to trust JMO. I would bet on Pittman, but Jameson Williams, he's a heck of a talent, and I really wish him the best.
I just
really
think he's
do.
a
I
much
really think he
better
could be a star.
overall wide receiver talent than Pittman will be, or has even shown already. I think Pittman is going to be very dependent on. I guess all wide receivers are on QB, but I side with the talent of Jameson Williams, and I think he's going to be a baller.
It's fair, yeah. It's definitely fair. I think that's totally a fair argument.
Yeah,
it's close.
I think his value is also higher just because we haven't seen him yet, and that can also work for him.
No,
I bet you if you look on KTC, he's higher.
I don't give a fuck about KTC.
Oh, well, that gives you a little bit of a pulse about what people or the community are thinking,
I
right?
I
Not
just
just the
don't
echo
care.
chamber.
I feel like
Right.
Pittman is worth more. I mean, he's actually
Yeah, but
produced something.
what happens when Matt Ryan leaves and they try to find a solution at quarterback? Like,
Yeah.
or they draft someone else to go along with Alec Pierce, or Alec Pierce develops.
Well, Alec Pierce has been developing in reverse.
Yeah, but I mean, Amon-Ra is there in Detroit too, so that kind of counters that.
Yeah. Sold Tua for Pickett in a 2 QB dynasty. Was terrified of the injuries. I feel foolish now. Yeah, sorry. It's bad.
Yeah,
It's
not
really
good.
bad. Yeah. Yeah, but Brandon Cooks had the questions and then they suddenly disappeared. So I wouldn't rely on that, unfortunately. 23rd and Chase Claypool for Miles Sanders on 24th. I mean, if you're rebuilding and you have Sanders and it's this or nothing, I don't even want to do it. I don't know. This is terrible.
Why did they give the second for Chase Claypool? That's my question.
I don't know why the Bears.
He's 5 catches for like 35 yards?
It's stupid.
Something in that range.
Yeah. Well.
I don't think I'd make that trade.
Yeah, I don't think so.
No.
With a Pitts injury and Andrews not quite replicating 2021, does Kelsey deserve his thrown back as tight end 1? No. He is never getting it back. At what point in time can we dismiss his age like we do with QB superstars? Never. Because
he's
just not how it works. It doesn't work that way. Like
there's
Tom
just
Brady
such a giant age gap between Andrews and Kelsey. It's just too much of an age gap. It's just never going to happen for Kelsey.
It's the kind of thing where you can only see it in retrospect. Like,
yes,
a lot of times people would have said, "Oh, bet on the outlier. They're an outlier." Rob Gronkowski was the dynasty tight end 1. I warned people against it, and going into 2018, I didn't think it was so wise, and how that didn't really work out.
That was more a personal decision. His body didn't break down. He still came back and scored what? He was the tight end 6 for that.
I don't
wouldn't have been worth it.
I don't really get the Mark Andrews not replicating 2021. I mean, he's been
outside of injury, he's been a baller.
Outside of injury, he's been great. I don't understand. Yeah, in his first 6-game plays, he has 4 finishes as a top 3 tight end.
It's just that
not
Kelsey
been
has
as
been
great.
so sick.
No.
I mean, Kelsey's just been
he hasn't been as good. Mark Andrews has been with everyone else this year. I mean, he hasn't been as good.
Kelsey's
Last
just
year, he had 107 catches. No, I mean, it's impossible to disagree. I mean, if you just look, he hasn't been as good this year. He's been averaged 61 yards a game instead of 80. I mean, we're averaging 5.3 catches instead of 6.3. That's the difference between being a difference-making tight end and not being good, but not a league winner. He's not a league winner this year. He's just not. You're not winning your league on the back of Mark Andrews. He's someone who can help you.
True.
He can help you win, but he's not the reason. Last year, if you had Mark Andrews, he was the reason a lot of people you rode him to a title. Whereas that's not the case this year. You're not riding Mark Andrews. And he's missed time in addition to the averages being down.
Yeah.
So it's very different this year than it was last year. It's been a decline. And I think this year, to be honest, if you look at his career, I think this year is actually the closest to what you can overall expect in terms of volume and yards and touchdowns. I actually think this is a good expectation, what he's done this year of what he might do the next couple.
Which is still awesome. I mean,
it's
still awesome because he's missed a game.
Awesome, he's missed not what it was.
He's basically missed 2 games because he played 13% of snaps against Tampa Bay in Week 8, and he's still the tight end 2 on the year.
Yeah, I will say, though, I probably have Mark Andrews ranked a little too high in my dynasty rankings, only because, he is older than I think people want to remember. And
he's 27 now or 26 still?
27. There's some confusion about his birth date, but I think we finally settled that it's 95, September 95. So, yeah, he's 27. He'll be 28 before the start of next season. So, yeah, he's not that young. And I do think he's a little too high in my dynasty rankings, just given that he's not that young and, isn't winning you leagues by himself. So he's someone I think I need to move down a few spots below some of those stud wide receivers.
So points per game wise, he is tight end 2, but I mean, Travis Kelce is averaging over 22 points.
Yeah, the difference between 1 and 2 is the same as the difference between 2 and 34. Yeah. So
Is that actually true?
Yes.
Maybe that actually where we're at. Oh wow.
It's actually true. Ryan McDowell posted that, I believe.
Smart man.
Yes, I agree. As a longtime Patreon consumer, I appreciate all that you do. I appreciate that too. I do hope that the day never comes where the Patreon is it. I will say that that's not impossible. That is the reality one day. It is the only thing I do that would sustain itself, if that makes sense. Nothing else I do, would sustain itself, like money-wise. So, if I do decide one day to take a step back from the industry or whatever, that would be the last thing to go. There's a good chance that my idea of stepping back from the industry would be stopping doing everything else and only doing that, because that is relatively lucrative for me. And, it's probably the best experience I have. I mean, the people who are paying me for fantasy advice are usually the nicest. So, I do hope that day never comes. But, I have thought about it, and it's something that, is a possibility. And I will say to all of my patrons that my Patreon is going nowhere. It's possible that I continue doing the Patreon even if I find another job or like do something else or whatever. Like I don't anticipate closing down the Patreon for multiple years. That's the one thing that will remain for the future that I can foresee. So I appreciate everyone who's a patron, and I did put the link in the chat. But yeah, I don't plan on, just go back to that. I have no plans to leave this show or my own show or anything along those lines. But, I do eventually want to have like some sort of job in this space. And obviously I have to like make the money to be able to do that. And if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. But, my Patreon is self-sustaining. So I would be able to continue doing that even in another situation, but probably wouldn't be able to continue doing everything else. But again, there's no plans to do anything like that anytime soon. How confident are you guys in this next year's running back class? These old running backs are still on top and showing no signs of regression, I think we mean there.
Yeah. Or digression from success, maybe.
Digression from success? Oh, yeah. Interesting. I'm starting to wonder if it's better to pay for the old running backs rather than young. It's not. But it's not. We don't want to do that.
I think if it's cost friendly, then you can find value if you're win now. That may be worth it, but definitely not investing high capital.
We never ever are going to recommend the Dalvin Cook, Austin Eckler types. Never. I never would have recommended those guys. I might have recommended taking a cheaper flyer on an Aaron Jones or a Leonard Fournette. It hasn't. I mean, Aaron Jones would have worked out okay. Leonard Fournette has been okay at times this year.
So I did buy Eckler for a first plus last season, and then I won the championship, so it was worth it.
Yeah. Oh, Ryan,
so I think it's always context.
Add you back. Well, we'll figure that out in a second. 23-second or Antonio Gibson.
I was thinking with Gibson, and I'm probably in the minority, and I'm okay with that.
I mean.
Man.
I just think we've seen what he can do, and it's better than a 23-second. And I know right now it's situational because J.D. McKissick's out, and so he's getting a lot of pass work. But
my concern is that they bring in a whole other running back, that they don't like what they have at all. They bring in a whole other running back next year. And then
I mean, I feel like that'd be one of the stupidest moves they can make. But man,
we're talking about a team run by Dan Snyder.
It's the Washington freaking Commanders, and I would not be surprised in the slightest if they were to bring in another running back. Like, not at all.
I would say it's okay. I mean, it's honestly though, I don't think Antonio Gibson's going to win you anything. So
I don't see a massive difference between either of these players, but I think the upside lies with the 2023 second. Honestly,
the unknown.
We gotta.
Yes,
yeah,
unknown.
We're gonna keep going.
All right.
Okay. What would you pay for Algier? I'm not paying for Algier.
Third.
That's just a no. Not
third.
I don't want Algier.
I'd pay a third if I absolutely felt like I knew.
I'd take a third.
I do not want Tyler Algier. Tyler Algier is terrible. I don't want Tyler Algier. He's going to be replaced as the backup to Cordero next year if they keep Cordero or whatever. But Tyler Algier is not it. He is not good. Give Saquon and the 24 third for ETN and Jamal Williams. Trade us with my biggest competitor. Yeah, I mean, the ETN side is worth more. The ETN side is worth more. I'd rather have ETN over Saquon, and I'd rather have Jamal Williams over a 24 third. So if you do it, I'm okay with it. Yeah, I would do it. I would take ETN side.
I think I do this, yeah.
And I mean, especially if you're a competitor, that means that you're probably contending. This will help you win.
Yeah.
This year.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I don't know what I'm appreciating. I'm out of it. Oh, it's so weird. But I guess it shouldn't be weird to me. I mean, I play this role on my show all the time. It's weird to do it on here. Non-tight end premium. What pick should I have to add to Cole Kmet to trade for Travis Kelce? Is the second enough? No. And I think Travis Kelce is impossible to trade for.
Yeah. You're going to have to hand out a first plus.
I never see Travis Kelce moved ever because he's always on a contender who won't give him up.
Yeah. And they'd be stupid to give him up.
Exactly. Yeah. So Travis Kelce's never moved.
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying, Eric. Okay. Yeah, wait. Yeah. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Next. Tyreek Hill for CeeDee Lamb. Oh, I love this one. For CeeDee Lamb, Deontay Johnson, and a 23 first. I'm in a rebuild.
Please take Lamb, Deontay, and a first and run. Wow. My goodness.
Yeah, this is so easily the Lamb side. Lamb alone in Dynasty is worth more than Tyreek Hill for the age, but
yeah.
Oh, definitely.
With Deontay Johnson and a 24 first. It's
because the thing is, even win now, CeeDee Lamb is getting his volume, and he's going to have monster games with that.
Yeah. It is a downgrade, but it's not the end of the world.
Tyreek Hill is somebody I think if you are, somebody not looking to technically win this year, I think Tyreek Hill is a what?
He's a must move. I mean,
yes, he is a perfect sell candidate. Perfect sell candidate. Yeah. Yes.
I just bought him in a win now just to add another piece. I forgot what I traded for him, but
as a win now, it's not bad because he's gonna be great this year and possibly next year as well.
But this would if I saw this trade in one of my leagues, I'd be like, first thing my mind would be like, okay, who's colluding?
Yes, who's colluding? Yeah, that's what I think. This is insanity. But
if you're getting Lamb, please take him, Yuma, please.
Oh my gosh, yes, this is a smash accept. You got to be kidding. Smash accept.
Why are redraft videos titled "Add these players now, hurry"? Because it's clickbait, bro.
Yes.
You know what? Next week, this video. Fuck it. I don't care anymore. Next week, this video is getting a clickbait title. I don't.
It already has one, right? We are fantasy prophets.
No. It's still Ask DLF. It's still Dynasty Fantasy Football Q&A. Enough of that nonsense. We're gonna give this video a better title. I'm gonna talk to Addison. This title is no good. We're gonna encourage people to. We're gonna say, I don't know, what would be a good title. What would be good? I don't know. I'll have to think about it.
Trade for these players now. Hurry. There you go.
Ask DLF about how to trade for these players now. Hurry.
Exactly. Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe I won't. Maybe I just won't put Ask DLF in the title. I don't know. Hey, I'm not competing. I'm trying to get to the 101. All right. This is a good idea. Should I trade Lamar and Algier for Fields and competing 23 first, 12 team super flex? Well, I think forget about the first part. Would you trade Lamar and Algier for Fields and a competing 23 first? I think I would. I think I would take Fields in the first at this point. I'm confident enough.
Lamar,
I'm losing some faith.
Lamar,
I'm losing a little bit. But the thing is, though, the Bears are still losing, and they're still gonna have a good top pick.
Lamar hasn't had a QB1 week in
it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yes, it's been a while. Yeah, he's been disappointing.
I'll take Fields in the first.
It's because he doesn't have a deal. He doesn't have enough money for food and stuff right now.
I know. I'll take Fields in the first and live with the consequences.
Yeah, I think I would.
I think I would as well, but man, that is really close because Fields is you're taking a dart throw there at Fields because if the Bears draft a quarterback, you're done for.
They're not going to draft a quarterback. All signs point to him being the guy.
Yes,
in my opinion,
they're not.
It should be because he's played well, but the problem is they keep losing. It doesn't matter; they keep losing games.
Well, I think they know. I think they knew that we were going to lose. honestly, like because they didn't help out the offense as much. And
No, they
maybe
didn't at
they
all.
built the defense. So I do think that the Bears are all in on Fields. They're changing the offensive scheme to cater to his strengths.
I really
So,
think it's funny though because they threw they kind of threw Fields under the bus because I mean they didn't help him at all. No offensive line help, no wide receiver help in the offseason. They were like, we're going to bet against him because the 2023 class is good. And he's showed up and he's played well. And now they're committed to him. So, yeah. Yeah, let's go.
12-team Superflex, PPR, gave up 2 late firsts and Pacheco for JT and an early 23 second. What do you think? That's fine. I'll take JT.
That's
not bad.
barely. Yeah, I'll just take the JT side. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
CD is worth more than Tyreek alone. Yeah. I agree. What's Pollard's actual value? I'm looking to pivot off him and Christian Watson. At this point, I think I would hold out for a first for Pollard, and I wouldn't take less.
Yep, I completely agree.
Yeah, I would not buy for a first though.
No,
please don't go buy for.
Yeah, don't go buy.
No, don't do that at all.
Risky.
No. Don't buy for a first. No way. Don't.
But sell, yeah.
Yep.
Alec Pierce or Pacheco? I have Pacheco ranked higher in my dynasty rankings. Kind of out on him.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like he's fallen behind Paris Campbell again.
They're both whatever to me.
Yeah. Okay. Drop Tony for Jameson Williams. How long is Tony going to be out? I mean, if Tony is at this point, I think we see Jameson Williams before we see. Are you on IR? I don't remember.
I think here's the thing. The Lions have seemed to be very conservative with Jameson Williams this year. The fact that they're bringing him back, I feel like he is like. I don't think they're going to put him out there when he's not ready. I think he's ready to play football, and I think that in the next week or two, we're going to see a decent game from him.
Yeah.
Tony, I don't know anymore. I would drop Tony for Jameson Williams.
Yeah, I guess so.
I would do this. Yeah. I'm assuming it's
Kamara
right?
Basically, yeah, it has to be. Kamara is dead to me, basically.
Kamara
doesn't have much
for me
left.
as a hold. He's still a guy I'm not trading for less than a first.
Well, then you're stuck with him.
Yeah, I would.
I'd rather.
Why would a second for him is tough. I don't know. I feel like I wouldn't do that. So.
How much 2023 value do we see in Mike Evans and James Conner? I think James Conner is washed up. So I'm very concerned.
James Conner does not.
He's
look very
someone
good.
who's pretty much dead to me.
Mike he doesn't look very good. The Cardinals will probably be looking after a running back in 2023 in the draft potentially. They'll probably be one of those teams. Mike Evans is. I think he's just always going to be what he always was in the past few seasons, just a high wide receiver 2.
If he loses Brady, it's not going to be as good.
If he loses Brady, that is completely different. But.
And I think he is losing Brady. I don't think Brady's going to be back.
I still see him as like a mid wide receiver 2. That's how I see him.
Brady needs to make his money back. He lost everything.
Yeah, but I think he'll be just fine. True. I think he might play for another team though.
Possibly.
No, I'm kidding.
No. Okay. With Henderson waived, we barely even talked about that. Henderson was cut. Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah, Henderson was cut.
How do you feel about Akers' value the rest of the year?
I didn't miss this one.
Not good. I still don't feel good about Cam Akers.
I feel more confident because it's clearly because he actually looked decent last week. I went back and watched
in the most putrid rushing offense in the league. This is not the Todd Gurley era.
No, it's not.
It is a boon to his value, though. It is.
It is definitely.
It has to be.
It's a boost of confidence.
He's running back 30 instead of running back 45 for the rest of the year. That's what we're talking about.
But this is I think this is good for anyone who's holding him or has been holding him. You wait for a really good game where he's going to get the volume. I think more so now with Henderson out. So you sell him the moment he has a 1 touchdown game.
Yeah,
so that's pretty much what it is.
I'm good with that. I want to get out.
Yeah.
Kamara is not worth a first plus a player anymore. He's not even worth either of these two things in isolation, let alone together.
No.
All right. Yeah, no. The chat agrees with me. Rashad White for Breece Hall. Yes, Breece Hall easily.
Yes.
Big Breece.
Oh my goodness.
Breece Hall by miles. Good Lord.
DJ Moore just has staying power. Kamara is on the.
DJ Moore's only 25, and he's a stud. He just needs a quarterback. Like Sam Darnold.
He is. It's been disappointing this year, though. It sucks this year.
All right. Eric. Yes, Eric is gives good advice, mostly because that most of that advice comes indirectly from me. But and I appreciate Eric for being a very, very, very long time patron. So just yeah, appreciate that. And the father of DLF Jr.
We're not looking at all three, not all three combined individually, right?
Yeah, individually, it is what it is, right? I mean, you can sell these guys, but you're not going to get, I mean, for Evans and Hopkins, you're not going to get back anywhere near what they produce in the sale. Mike Williams, if you can get a second, I might just get out because I'm tired.
I think would we say that they're all similar in value? I mean,
no,
all.
I think Evans and Hopkins are worth more. I think Williams.
Yes, I mean Williams with this injury.
Hopkins, Evans are much above Williams.
Yeah.
Yes.
Even though they're older.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But here's the thing with those sells, just real quick, is I want to sell them. I don't want to ever lose value in the selling. So it's I wouldn't buy them for a first, you know what I mean? But I wouldn't sell them for maybe less than something that kind of is equivalent to that, if that makes sense. So I'm always kind of checking both sides, the buying and selling side. Because sometimes if you just objectively say value, then people are like, oh, okay, then I'll buy for this. And it's you probably shouldn't give a 23 first.
Well, I often get into that. Yeah. What are we able to get with Rachaad White?
I mean, Breece Hall, if you're lucky.
Someone just said Breece Hall. Apparently, you can get a ton.
Maybe a late first if on a competing team if they're sold on Rachaad White. I think you have to take that.
What are your guys' thoughts on Jimmy G? Apparently, I've been trying to be convinced. What is there to be convinced about? And we know what Jimmy G is.
Yeah.
We know what he is. He's an efficient.
Also, this also assumes that every one of these weapons stays healthy, all of which have had trouble doing so. Because he's not as good when they're not all healthy.
No, he's not as good.
I'm buying Jimmy for a second in Superflex, though. I don't have a problem with that.
I have no problem with that at all. Yeah, that's a good deal.
Yeah, Rachaad White is definitely not someone I'm moving. The people miss Cal. Yeah, I mean, according to the audience, the people really miss Cal. And Addison. It's been rough the last 2 weeks, audience-wise. It's been a very, very tiny audience.
Maybe I have to not make my bed next time. We'll get a bigger audience.
Yeah, don't make
that's
the
what
bed.
it is. I gotta mess up the bed.
Or maybe you need to sit on the bed, and then
totally don't
do
make
some
the
gymnastics, flips and stuff on the bed. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
Out of screen. There we go.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Well, you're a contender in a 12-team Superflex, PPR, 2 tight end premium, half point for first down with tight end bonus league. You lost Goddard and have second most points allowed.
I think
points against.
Points against.
Yeah.
Oh, sure,
yeah.
Whatever. Who are you moving Goddard for, if anyone?
It's too general, probably, of a question.
Pretty general, yeah. I mean, Goddard's a hold for me. He's injured. You're not going to get.
I think he's a hold. I think he's a very solid hold option.
I don't
think back, and it sounds like you're losing. So,
but if you're a contender and you have to move, you need production now. I don't know. Could you pay up to get Kittle? Kind of don't want to, but
Kittle's just not consistent enough for me, to be honest.
Could you pay up to get Hawkinson?
That's something I might try.
Yeah.
Basically, this question depends on what the other teams are that are looking to.
Yeah, and what's available at tight end. Tight end is a very scarce resource.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Okay. Yep. No, this is pretty much how I feel. Yes, check out my Patreon. Yes, I endorse it fully. Are 23s too inflated at this point? Yes. That I'd be more likely to get 24 first. Yes, 24 first are something I'm targeting. So I approve of that way of thinking. And yeah, Eric is really holding it down in the chat, and I appreciate him for that. Should I trade Miles Sanders? Who should I trade him for? I mean, yes, but again, he kind of falls into that category of players who are worth more on their roster than. Yeah. All right. And yeah, Miles has been mad lately. All right, Hutch, give him the promo.
Okay, yeah. Unfortunately, guys, I'm gonna have to jump out, but you all go follow me on Twitter, Matt Hutchinson B_FF. I'm at Hutchinson Brown on TikTok. Check out Hutchinson Brown's Fantasy Football Perspective podcast I host. Unfortunately, because of the Thanksgiving holiday, there won't be an episode on Thursday, but usually Tuesdays and Thursdays there are episodes there for y'all. I'm a creator with DLF, obviously, writer for them for a while. Now I'm going to be on Ask DLF for a while. I also create with football guys, and yeah, that's pretty much. And then keep an eye out. I'm working on a Patreon for me. I'm working on a Patreon, hoping to get that out sometime soon. I don't know what I'm really going to do yet, but I'm really hoping to get that out soon. I'm really working on it, and it would be really, really fun to do. So just keep an eye out for all that. Keep an eye out every Tuesday night. I should be here pretty much every week. But yeah, thank you so much, Tyler, for having me on. Ryan, Josh, it was a pleasure.
Always.
Bye, guys.
Okay.
Later, man.
All right. You guys ready?
Hyperspeed.
Yep. Kirk or Keenan Allen, rest of the
Kirk.
season? Kirk.
Wait.
I'm going Allen, actually.
I
Sorry.
had to second guess myself when I said that.
Oh, Kirk. I don't trust Allen.
You look good, but give me Christian Kirk. Closer than I thought.
I love Kirk, but I'm going Allen here.
We don't have a 4-person background. Should we go to this view? It's always my favorite. Should I trade Fields and Watson or Pickens for Hurts or Mahomes? For Mahomes, yes. For Hurts, maybe with Watson. But for Mahomes, yes, with either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll take Mahomes.
Pretty easy.
Rebuilding 12-team Superflex, what's a reasonable ask for Kirk and or Josh Palmer? Well, for Kirk is going to be tough to sell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would ask for a 24 first for Kirk.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
That's-
Try that.
yeah.
And then for Palmer, I think just a second.
Yeah.
That's
23
fine.
second, preferably.
Yeah. We did this already. Waddle top. Yeah, he is top 5 for me. I have Waddle at 4.
At least top 10, so
Yeah.
in that range.
Okay. Pick up Pacheco and Deshaun Watson. Yes. Drop Thielen and Palmer. Oh, definitely drop Thielen.
I'll drop Thielen. I would probably hold Pacheco and
Well, you're picking them
I
up.
mean hold Thielen. I don't know. I'm not
I'm
really
fine dropping Thielen.
Yeah.
With
Justin
Hawkinson
Jefferson,
there, Thielen has
Joe.
really been worthless.
If he ever has to go down, but that's
I need a
big
better flex. I have Swift, but he isn't reliable, as well as Carter, Thielen, Edwards, Drake, MVS. Who would you start? It's a vague question. You can't trust Swift, though. Mike Williams or mid 23 second.
I'm holding Mike. I
Mike
don't know.
Williams is barely worth more than that.
Yeah.
But
Holding Mike.
it's a rebuild, and you have to. I'm okay with it.
I prefer it to be early.
Yes, I would prefer that.
Then it'd be slow, but I'm holding for a mid.
Yeah, I would prefer it to be early, but it is what it is. Higgins is a top 5 dynasty wide receiver, and I'll take that to the bank.
You can take it to the bank, but I don't agree.
You can take it to the bank, but I'm not banking at that bank with you.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Why did Najee have to start playing well now? Just as I
Because he
gave him the nickname,
needs
Trent Richardson.
97% of snaps in order to produce. That's what he
know.
needs.
I'd be trading for Mike Williams. I'm not sure I would. All right. Just joined. Welcome. Although this was still 40 minutes ago. Value of Trevor Lawrence is Jameson Williams, mid 23 first, mid 23 second enough. Lawrence is worth more than that in a super flex.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Diggs and TJ Moore for Mike Evans, Kirk, and Gabe Davis. I will take the Diggs side.
I'll take Diggs and Moore.
Yeah, Diggs and Moore
Yeah.
for me. Yeah. Amon Ra or Williams Dubs and a 25 first. I'll take
Amon-Ra.
Amon Ra. Russ has been a bad fantasy value for many years. Redraft, that's
Except those first 7 weeks of the season.
there were a
every
couple
year.
periods of time, but yeah, mostly
Those
it
first-
hasn't been.
Early season Russ, let him cook.
He's gonna come back. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys think I could get an extra piece on top if I traded Dulcich for Schultz plus? I think you can get an extra piece with Schultz, and I don't know if I'd do it though. I like holding Dulcich. Schultz with the free agency has a lot of uncertainty.
Yeah.
12 team, half PPR, win now. Andrews and Adams for Kelsey and Godwin. Oh man. I mean, the value is with Andrews and Adams.
Yeah.
But
Kelsey's such a beast.
But Kelsey's such a beast. I get it. I get why you would want to do it.
I don't like these kind of trades, man. It's
I
just
don't like these kind
move.
of trades either. It's close enough that I'm fine doing it.
I'd do it.
Godwin can step up. I think Kelsey.
Godwin can step up. It's okay. I'm okay with it. I agree with Tyler. I take a second for Gibson. Yeah, thank you. He's not a free agent. He has one more year on his contract. He was 2020
We wish he was a
draft.
free agent. All those Antonio Gibson truthers, including
Yes,
myself.
like you.
I included myself.
Yeah. What's up, guys? Welcome. Superflex trade offer got offered Swift for London.
No hold London, please.
I will take London for sure. Yeah, Swift is way lower to me. London. Yep. Logan Thomas or Foster Moreau this week. I'll play Foster Moreau against Seattle. Logan Thomas has been getting a little bit more involved, but I just don't trust him.
Yeah,
I'll play
I agree.
Foster Moreau.
Yeah.
Seahawks suck against tight ends.
But I have Moreau at tight end 14 and Thomas at 18. So they're not that far off. Kirk Cousins or Chris Godwin, if Kirk and Pickett are your QB3 and 4, Kirk is worth more in Superflex to me than Godwin, but they're not far. Actually, I have them back to back. So very close.
Depends on team needs.
Yeah. Rashad White for
Sheesh.
Deontay Johnson and 23 mid second. I still have Johnson is worth more than White.
I'm taking Deontay Johnson.
So I'll take Deontay Johnson with the pick.
Yep.
I get it. It's just hard. The value's on the other side. But I get wanting to hold White. I need a tight end to help me win the league. Should I try overpaying or just stream Dulcich or Moreau? I'm fine just streaming Dulcich or Moreau.
Stream.
I don't want to overpay.
Yeah, stream. Don't unless you get Kelsey for a little overpay like we've been talking about. But
I'm not low on T. Higgins. I have T. Higgins at Dynasty wide receiver 7. So it's not like I hate him.
Wow, that's high. In my
Yeah.
opinion. Yeah.
Yeah, so I actually think I'm higher than most.
Yeah.
Juwan Johnson or Robert Tonyan this week? It's Juwan Johnson. For me.
Juwan.
I have
He's got,
Juwan Johnson
3
at
TDs
tight
in the
end
last 3
10.
games?
Yeah, tight end 10 this week. Robert Tonyan, I have down at tight end 7. I don't like the matchup against Philly. And then this last one here, what should I improve? This team looks actually very solid. I would say just kind of keep it rolling. You're 7-3. Yeah. Nothing too big. So yeah, just I appreciate everyone for watching Ask DLF. Hopefully Addison is back next week. I know we've had 2 weeks in a row without either Addison or Cal. Cal I know is gone. Addison should be back next week. Yeah, it's not easy doing the show without him, but hopefully I was able to still give you some good fantasy advice. Hopefully you enjoyed the Hutch, who's going to be on regularly, and also Josh and Ryan, who I brought on as guests. Anything else you guys want to say?
Thanks for having me on. Love answering questions. You can find me at JBCHO Knows and also on Tyler's threads as well. So yeah, thanks for having me on.
Yeah.
Ryan?
Always a pleasure answering questions, talking ball with you guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. Well, I will see you all next week.
All right. Have happy Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
I love it.